Hello, everybody, and welcome to Roll Together RPG and to our Awakening campaign, part of the Chronicles of Aeodrun series, a homebrew setting that we are doing here at Roll Together RPG. I've said that already, but hey ho. My name is Josh. I use he, him pronouns, and I shall be your game master. And I shall be your game master for tonight. And as you can see, I am joined all around me by some very lovely people. We are going to go through and get them to introduce themselves right now, starting with Tom.
Hi, hello there. My name's Tom. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, Brahm Shatteroak. Brahm had an interesting time last time. Discovered that his friend, Greta, was not in the town that he just got invited to, and then turns out he has a real relationship with the place. He also died. That explains the gaping wound in his chest. He's going through some stuff. Also, he managed to not start a bar fight, so credit to him. To the extent that other characters are like, do we need to keep an eye on him? He seems very heroic. Yes, I realised you didn't actually ask for any backstory, and I just wanted to talk more about me.
That saves me asking, so thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, Josh?
No.
How am I
who
doing?
do you want to throw it to next?
Again, I want Talia, who's currently eating her own hand, but no, Talia's hungry. We all skipped dinner. Now I've picked on Talia, so
I'll pass you over to Talia, our resident beefling.
Aww.
Specifically in game, definitely not in real life. By a strength of, it depends on the situation. Talia playing Hiira Castillo, both she, her pronouns. Hiira is a fate-touched elven tiefling or type character, so a beefling. As we are a paladin of redemption. Redemption for what? I don't know. Don't ask me. No redemption. Just perfect. For other people, absolutely. Here just to give her adopted kid, Sunny, stable schooling. Absolutely. That's why they're here. Don't look at us. Stop looking at us. Go away.
Do you know what's going to be really funny? At the point of recording this, nobody here has seen anybody else's origin story yet that will be coming out soon, and no write-ups have been done for it yet. So we're going to get to like between session 5 and 10 once they're being released and stuff, and then everyone's going to know everyone's secrets, and it's going to be, I'm going to be sitting here going, Anyway, Tyler, who would you like to nominate?
No secrets at all.
Unless you're me, and then the NPC's loudly go, so, your backstory, and I'm like, oh, you're just trying to eat my stew.
Yeah, we know everything about Brahm.
We know.
It's okay.
No secrets about Brahm here.
Oh, good. No secret. We're just here to be the voice of reason. Who am I picking on? Elodie. Nat's making cute faces at me, so we're going to pick her.
Well, it wasn't specifically you. Is it the general situation? But I can make cute faces at you if you like.
Look away,
No one else
gentlemen.
look. This is just for Talia. Sorry, we're having a moment. Hi, I'm Nat. I use she, her pronouns, as was my character, Elodie Fogg. Elodie is a human girl, definitely human, definitely just a human. And she is here because she's, traveling the world with her good friend Lila, who she definitely didn't just meet recently. No, just two gal pals exploring the world and hanging out, and definitely makes sense that she's been recruited into a mercenary agency. She's just a gal, with a gun that she has definitely had lots of practice with. Mike?
Hello, I'm Mike. I use he, him, and I will be playing Lucian, who also uses he, him, and I have no secrets.
Yeah.
I have no secrets.
We're just an open book of a party. That's great.
Do you have a special ability, Lucian?
To not keep secrets.
To not keep secrets. Any combat abilities that heroes should know?
I hit things.
There we go.
He's just a guy. He's just a normal guy, like the rest of us.
My contributions so far have been keeping Brahm alive and keeping Brahm alive. So
Very important.
Very valid.
Which is something that Brahm failed to do himself.
I died to save the woman I held in high esteem.
So currently more successful.
I got my tusky in the face of a bad person. So
Dad, let your dad take care of you.
you say that in Bram's face, instantly like, my dad. You're like, shut up, no, Bram, we don't need it. Everyone's fine with his
That was
parents.
the reason myself and Sean are in in storylines with Brahm, because someone's got to keep him.
I like how we're all just glossing over the fact that Mike went really serious for a split second then when he was saying no secrets. But like I said, we're going to gloss over that and move on to the next part, which is thanking our sponsors and supporters. Our sponsors are Phoenix Dice, and our supporters are Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms and Bearded Ladies. You can find links to those in the chat or in the description below if you're watching us on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, if you are watching us here, please do consider leaving a like, a comment, subscribing to the channel. It helps with the algorithm and to let us know what you want more of so we can make more of it. Here. Massive thank you to the D20 Club on Patreon. They are the best. They are amazing. They help us with the Discord and with our wiki page. You can join them from as little as one of your local currency per month or one goat, which must be sent to Tom and nowhere else. And you can find those in the links in chat or in the description below. I believe that is everything. Title sequence. In our first episode, our group of new adventurers have all made their own separate ways to the town of Merkstead and to the Solomon Mercenary Company, where they have each been individually recruited by various different means, or they've been living there for a while and have been asked by Solomon to stay as more permanent residents. A lot of the people who have come and gone through the Mercenary Company have come in when getting a boat out or when getting a boat in and then just disappear. There is a perpetual problem with bandits in the town, namely the Reavers, who are sort of have the town itself in a chokehold, getting protection money from the mayor and various different shop owners and all of that. After our characters were introduced to each other, they each they joined in on a rather lovely meal and went to bed. It sounds like not a lot happened in the last session, but quite a bit did. Ram decided that he was going to go to the local tavern, the Rusty Pirate, and almost started a fight if it wasn't for the fact that both Lucian and Erdic didn't, if they hadn't gone there and to keep an eye on him and stopped him from causing a fight.
I didn't start the fight. I would have finished it. Very simple.
We ended the last session with me saying that the sun rises and you're all able to go down to the job board. But first, there is one small retcon that I need to make from the last session. When Hiira came into the mercenary company, she was given a pouch with, I said, 10 gold in it for the last mission that she completed. That was incorrect. It should have been 80 gold. So Hiira, you can change your gold totals to match and all of that sort of stuff.
I'm rich.
So
I am in 3 numbers.
you haven't found out how expensive everything in this world is yet.
Oh, good. There's inflation in this world too.
This is a good point. I don't think I discussed money with you at all, Josh. I don't know how much Elodie has. I've assumed that she had enough to buy a gun before.
I just assumed that Lila gave you it.
Oh, great. Sure, if Lily gave it to me, great.
Well, that's where you're wrong. You're renting that gun. You're renting by the bullet.
This is why I'm here. I've got to earn it.
Indeed. So before the morning time, it gets to around midnight. You're all sound asleep. Maybe all sound asleep. Would you all be asleep at around midnight? Would you say?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I mean, I'm working off a lot of pent-up energy, so I think I'm not fully asleep, but I'm just doing that thing.
Hero, are you
Stop.
asleep?
Hiira is not asleep, but is also not moving because Sunny is asleep on her.
That's fair.
So she's doing that awkward parent lie down of just like, okay, I was looking at reports with one hand, and there is a child, and this is so uncomfy, and is about to just give up and try and get up early enough to go through this properly, because
Hiira is living her best single mum life.
absolutely no idea what she's doing, but she's doing it.
Shout out to the single mums out there.
So with some of you asleep, some of you sort of in and out of sleep, others being slept on, we go to a room that currently houses 2 residents, one of them being Lucian. Lucian, as you're laying there, either asleep or not asleep, you begin to hear the soft sounds of something hitting the glass of the window that you have in your room.
I'll sort of go up and just like, pull. I'm just gonna throw it out there and assume it's one of those windows that you pull up and sort of like slot into place. Do that, and then I'll go and sit back down is there an armchair or just back on the bed?
You can sit on the bed, yeah. I wouldn't say there's enough space in the room for an armchair, but sitting on the bed's perfectly fine. Just as you open the window, a stone hits you in the forehead.
He just does calmly sighs and does the 1,000-mile stare, and then goes and sits down.
You go sit down on the bed, and you wait for a few moments, and then just from outside the window you can hear, "Huh, huh, huh," and then a figure slides in through the window, and sort of screams, not loudly screeches, but sort of slides across the floor a little bit and stops right at your feet. And you can see this figure is wearing very dark coloured leather arm. It's either armor or it's like almost like a skin suit, but it looks like it's armored. There are straps in across the arms and straps across the legs. There is a dark green cloak that drapes over the shoulders that drapes down to around the midriff area, with a hood that covers pretty much all of their face. You can see that there is some hair that is sticking out and it looks like it's plaited, and they lift the hood back and you can see that it is your friend Celia, an elf. Got your message, Lucian? You okay?
Yeah. Have you noticed all the these reavers around?
Yeah. As soon as we came into the town, I went and got my fingers in as many pies as I could, and found out that the reavers aren't ones that you want to mess with. Not even I can get in with them, unfortunately. But yeah, I've got myself in with a few groups. So if you ever need anything, just let me know and I'll get you sorted out, right?
Well, I was hoping, can I leave a couple of questions with you?
Yeah, sure.
I'd really like to know what the reavers really want.
Right, okay.
Like, really want. What is something that they're looking for that if we were to, I don't know, acquire and gift, what that'd get us? And let's start small. Let's not go for the big hit. I also prefer you not to get yourself killed as soon as you arrive here, but
I'm slippery, you know that.
Just something. I'd like a little bit of breathing room and less antagonistic entrances into the town. And any other information you pick up, just let us know.
Right. Reavers are a particular interest. Okay. I don't think you're going to get much breathing room, as you say. They seem to have quite a tight hold. Even the underground elements that I've met seem very reluctant to have to deal with them. So,
no, and that's why I quite like the idea of getting on their good side in at least a private way. Maybe if we can do something for them, we can get that breathing room. We don't need to take them out for now, but let's at least think about it. Information is key. Anything they don't want us to know is also pretty helpful to know.
okay. I'll have to work my magic a little bit. Only just inserted myself into these groups. I mean, it's only been a day. So give me a bit of time and I'll see what I can get for you, all right? I'll see if I can grease any palms or anything or make any connections.
Aye, let us know. And then any other useful information on people that are in here and any other things you might think that, we could potentially use to bend some arms
Okay.
in an emergency situation.
There was one thing I did hear, but I will tell you now. The name Solomon has come up quite a lot. Now, I know that's the person who owns this place. He's mentioned quite a lot throughout the inner circles that I've been around, and there seems to be a fear and respect for him. So I don't know if that's something that you might want to be careful of, or it could be trustworthy, could not be. I'll see if I can dig any more information up. But a lot of the people around here don't. You've got the Reavers on one side, and then you've got Solomon on the other, sort of thing. Don't want to mess with the Reavers, and they don't want to upset Solomon.
All right. No, that's good to know. Let's not make any waves just yet.
Right. Okay.
Just want to get information.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go. There's a talk of a little mini heist going on at some point, so I might go see what the details are on that and find out a bit more.
Understood.
I'll see you later. Gives you a wink, pulls the hood back out, and sort of, without even touching the sides, just dives headfirst out of the window. You are on the first floor. But
doing like a crash and a screech.
You don't hear anything. You just, other than the rustling of a bush.
She's good. And then I'll settle down.
And the bush keeps rustling as well. Strange. Do you go to close the window?
The bush keeps
Yeah, you keep hearing a rustling sound coming from the bush. From a bush outside. At first you would have thought it was Celia diving out of the window and landing in the bush, but given enough time has passed, why would she still be in the bush? But you continue to hear rustling.
I'll have a look.
Awesome. So you go.
Carefully.
Make me a perception check, please. Hiira, what is your passive perception?
Ooh.
Sorry, I was on mute so I could do gestures. Passive perception 15.
That was a 19.
19. Okay, so as you look out of the window, you can see a bush over in the corner towards where the corner of the building is. The bush itself is wrapped around a rather large tree, and the tree itself looks like it's got some rope tied to it, and it looks like it's got some sort of a swinging, like either a single swing or a swing with like one of the wooden panels for you to sit on it. Looks like it's a bit broken and all of that. And as you look out of the window, you can see the bush is moving around, and you stand there and you look for a little bit, and then all of a sudden you see a tail pop up, and it moves around, and you watch as a very small figure begins swinging on the ropes. And as you go to shut the window itself makes a screeching noise, and you watch as the figure runs up the tree and dives into one of the end windows. And that window shuts.
No.
Was that like I didn't get any particular features.
You couldn't see any because it was too dark outside for you to get any features, but you could tell that it was a very small figure.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get what kind of tail?
I feel like I can assume.
So disappointed, and it's not even my shame on them. Shame. Sleep is so important.
Lucian ain't no snitch.
Yeah.
Somebody may have had too much sugar.
You
That's
gotta
all
work
we
it
will
out.
say on that.
No.
I don't know if. I can't remember Sean's character. Help.
Udric.
Udric. I don't know if he would have heard. I mean, we're in the same room together, whether he's asleep or not. But if when you next get a chance, if the same timeline crops up, I wouldn't have hidden it from him, and we could have a conversation at another point about what I'd say if he went, "What the fuck was that all about?"
Yeah, that's fair.
To be fair, neither of you seem to be snitches. You're very good at staying in your own, just like, so, you have mysterious nighttime visitors. How very
This is my
exciting.
no-no square, and that is your no-no square, and we do not cross.
No. Secrets.
Not one.
I don't have secrets. I don't know what you're on about.
Nope, no secrets at all.
We knew all about your character before we came into this. This is great, yeah.
You go to sleep. Everybody eventually, in whatever shape or form, falls asleep, and you wake up the next day. I would say you could hit the long rest button, but nobody's actually done anything or used anything to require it. So, I mean, you can hit it if you want to.
Whee!
I just lose money if I do that.
What?
Oh wait, no. So, when do you lose your lifestyle expenses?
I did not know that was a thing.
Really?
Does
Okay.
it do it automatically for you? What a
Yeah.
terrible feature.
Yeah. Because you know how
don't
much
keep your
campaigns don't
money.
worry about that.
They just take it out of your pocket at the end of the day. You watch it turn into mist. You're like, no, my 100 gold.
Oh no. You all wake up the next morning and you are able to all go downstairs. Now, the four of you that are here, I should explain that the reason why everybody else isn't here is that we are doing smaller little missions to sort of get the group used to each other and to progress the story along. So we have this small group, then we'll have another small group for the next one, and another small group, and then story progress and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, you all come downstairs and you can see the first thing that you spot downstairs that wasn't there yesterday is there is a rather large board that is right next to the front door, and you can see that Tally is there with a small set of steps and is currently pinning up bits of paper onto the board. And right next to Tally is Sunny holding a large stack of paper with a big grin on her face as Tally bends down, picks a piece of paper up and says thank you, and then goes into her pocket and pulls out what looks to be some sort of a pin and pins it into the board. Sorry.
Just straight into the wall.
Yeah, straight into the wall. Ignore the board completely.
Can I add a quick addendum scene like before this,
Yeah.
Josh? So I think Elodie would have been like, once she's had her conversation with Tali, would have gone to bed and would have been like restful sleep, and then probably would have got up like early, like proper, like sprung up bright and early and jazzy, and would have snuck downstairs. I don't know how early Rodney would have been in the kitchen.
Very early, almost crack of dawn early.
Okay. And would have kind of snuck down holding a book and sort of poked her head in, seen Rodney and been like, can I use part of the stovetop, please? Would you mind?
Oh, I don't mind. Yeah, sure. I'm not using it at the minute. I'm just preparing the meat for breakfast. I don't normally cook it until people start waking up, which ain't normally to about when the clock gets to the 7.
Oh, okay. Good. I've got a little time. Thank you. I just have a little project I've been working on, if you don't mind. I promise to clean all of the pots and pans after I finish using them.
Are you sure? Big grin on his face when he
absolutely.
hears you say that.
Oh, well, I did mean all of the ones that I've used, but if you need help cleaning up after breakfast, then I'm sure I can do that as well.
It'll be nice to have a bit of company, yeah.
Okay. And she would have spent some of the time doing some alchemy and mixing some potions on the stove and prepping them into little vials and sort of tucking them into a pocket on her belt, and then would have been chatting with Rodney the entire time and would have then helped with the washing up and then eventually met up with everyone else at the board.
Every now and then, while you're doing that, he pops his head over your shoulder because he's considerably taller than you are, and goes, "That smells like funny food. Funny colour as well."
Yes, not intended to be food. I don't. I'll be honest. I don't quite know if this is going to work. But that's the name of science, isn't it? You've got to just try things and see how they go. But don't worry, I won't be putting any of this into anyone's food.
Yeah, please don't. It doesn't look like it'll taste very nice.
No, I'm not looking forward to taking some of these, but we'll see. We'll see how they go.
Okay.
Maybe I can. Maybe you have some ingredients I can borrow to change the flavour at some point.
Okay, that sounds good. What's your favourite? Do you like bacon? Do you like sausage? Do you like eggs? What do you like?
I mean, well, breakfast food, bacon's lovely. More of a sweet tooth, I would say, and savoury. So, I tell you what, I've not had in a long time is lemon cheesecake.
For breakfast?
Make an entire cheesecake.
No, you don't need to make it for breakfast for me. I just thought you were asking me what my favourite flavours were.
I'm going to go do it, and he disappears, and you watch as he begins smashing some biscuits up. And that's probably a good thing, because we're starting to run out of meat. We haven't had a delivery from the farm for a little while, so...
Oh, okay.
Starts putting everything together, and he starts making you a lemon cheesecake.
I really don't. You don't need to. Okay. I mean, she won't put up a huge fight. But,
if you
a bit like,
have to
what have I
make me a
done?
cheesecake, I guess I'll have some. Cream as well.
I didn't realise that so much effort went into making it. Oh gosh.
Yeah. You watch as he makes it and all of that, and he gets the base together, gets the cream cheese and the lemon and everything, and makes it into a cheesecake. And as we all know, cheesecakes need to set for a little bit. You watch as he walks into what is the chiller, basically, and there is a couple of... You can see from where the hob is, you can see into the chiller more clearly than what you could when you've been in other places in the kitchen. And you can see that there are a couple of shelves, almost like cupboards, that are that line the top at the back of the chiller. And you watch as he opens one, and loads of mist just pours out of it. And he shoves it straight into one of these shelves, closes it. You hear him slam his foot on the floor 10 times. And then he opens it and pulls it out, and then sticks it down, and it is fully set. I like that. And then he goes over, gets a grater and some lemon, and he starts grating some lemon over the top of it. Citrus lemon, tasty, like my friend Elodie likes it, because it is really nice.
I think she's fully distracted and looking at this machine. This is incredible. How does it... I am going to have to get into how this works with you at some point later.
I can show you if you want. I'll put it together myself.
I'm supposed to be meeting up with the others. Do we have time?
Yeah, it's about... all of this happened in about... How long does it take for you to brew your potions?
I think we said I have to spend an hour of my rest brewing them, and then and making the reagents for them.
Okay, cool. So it's about 6 o'clock, and he goes, "Yeah, I think we've got time. It won't take me too long to explain." And something seems to change about Rodney at this point when he takes you. So he leads you out of the. So he closes the door, and he goes to lead you towards where the back door is, where you would go to take the rubbish. And there's a door just to the left. He opens that, and it leads into a very small storage cupboard. And at the end of that storage cupboard is a large box, which looks like it has been inserted into a hole that leads into the room next door, which is the chiller. And he opens that, and you can see that there's loads of wires and metal contraptions and things, and it all seems to be feeding into a fist-sized blue orb in the center of this box. That's a ice magic ball. That is, I don't. It's got some sort of fancy name, but that powers this thing.
Interesting. I thought that all of ether stuck to the original element. So is this a combination of air and water elements?
Yeah, combo magic. I think is the way is what the guy who sold it to me called it anyway. So, yeah.
Fascinating. And you bought that from around here?
Not here, no. It was from the city when we were allowed in there. So it was long before the undead came.
Gosh. So if this breaks, then you're going to have trouble fixing it.
I can do minor repairs to it, and you can see that there's like little bits of tape and stuff that have been put on some of the wires, and a little bit of the metal is broken off and has been replaced and stuff. I could do minor repairs, but yeah, if the orb itself was to break or get lost or run out of energy or anything like that, then I'd have to take it back to the city to get it recharged, because we don't have that sort of stuff here. There is a shop here, but it's been closed for a very long time. It's called Goggle Springs. The owners haven't been there for a very long time, so they'd normally be the ones that could charge it up.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a shame. Well, we'll have to look after it then, won't we? She has been like scribbling notes, and like she's got a little book and a pen, and has been like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, and taking notes with everything that he's been saying this entire time.
Okay. And you carry on having that conversation while everybody else comes down. Now, I keep putting Sunny in comedic positions all over this place, which doesn't make Hiira sound too good. Hiira, would you have noticed?
Hiira's been up for a while, so I think it's been up for to pair them. Hiira's, while the other two were busy cooking, she's popped into the kitchen and grabbed some like apples and some like leftover pastries for breakfast. And I think she has also been busy just helping prep. So she's been reading personnel reports and helping organize files and dragging out this giant board. And then essentially Sunny is now being helpful, but is actually being babysat while Hiira's doing her morning like workout and calisthenics. Yeah, your setup makes Hiira sound like a terrible mum.
Yes, I apologise.
Therefore, I was thinking about what was happening.
Yeah, I apologise. That wasn't my intention. I was just taking Sunny and putting them in comedic moments, and I realised that Hiira would know where Sunny is most of the time.
Yeah, Hiira's been up for a while, and just helping do set up, and now it's just. I think when everyone's coming up, she's coming back, hair tied up, kind of like a bit of a sweaty sheen, just kind of having finished workout. And still fully covered, but slightly like thinner layers than usual. Kind of loose and baggy, just going, okay, cool. How have you guys finished with setup with the board?
Nearly, we've just got a few more tallies just finishing the rest. Make sure you drink your drink. Make sure you drink and make sure you have something to eat.
Yes, darling.
I've already eaten, and it was good food. I had an apple and this thing called a banana. I'd not had one before.
No, you have fruit. The fruit here is really good, and it's all special and new. You should have all the fruit.
It was very tasty.
So I've decided that Hiira just has a thing for fruit now.
That's fair.
It makes sense.
For reasons.
And Tally just leans over. Just before you came in, I overheard something about there being a lemon cheesecake coming. Is that? Should be allowed a piece of that?
I think that is a special food that only grown-ups can have.
Oh, I really wanted some.
You can ask for some lemons and some cheese.
Lemons and cheese. Tally, can I have some lemons and cheese? Yes, I'll get Rodney to get you some in a minute. Just help me finish the rest of these off and then we'll get them. Yeah, lemons and cheese. I can make my own cheesecake.
Yeah.
Sorry, when she gets a block of cheddar.
Just puts a lemon on top of it.
Squeezes it on like it's fish. Just
Hiira doesn't know what lemon cheesecake is, but she knows the word cake and it's got sugar in it. So she's like, nope.
That's fair. Tally and Sunny will finish putting up the posters. While if you'd like to go get changed or anything, you can do that. Or if you'd just like to join them for breakfast, you can. Tally will get Sunny set up at the table while you are getting yourself sorted. And Rodney will come out every now and then once he's finished with showing Elodie the different machinations of the chiller and has cooked what is left of the farm produce. We'll bring that out and start setting up the table and stuff. So Brahm and Lucian, you can both come down at any point. Brahm, is there anything in particular you'd like to do before you come down?
I mean, Bram's been up since dawn, but also sort of doing... It's not quite the social anxiety of, oh no, I'm up. Brahm is still like, I don't really know why I'm here, but, and then just gets to that point where he's like, sod it, I'm going downstairs, to be... I'd like to point out Brahm has spent a lot of time, to his memory, by himself, and is still a little bit feral and a little bit like... He's like... Also, because, folks, in the one-shot, Josh was like, oh, I'll give you, the chef feat. So Brahm is totally used to cooking for himself and then is very confused that there's other people doing it. But has enough, again, social awareness to be like, if I start making it myself, that would be rude. So sort of slightly awkwardly on the stairs and then sitting down at a table and I don't know what I'm doing. And then I was like, actually, I think, and then just goes and politely looks at the board, looks down at Sunny, who he hasn't met, and he's like, morning. And then just,
hello.
How are you doing?
I like your scarf.
Oh, thank you. It was a gift from my parents.
Oh, I got a gift from my mummy. Not my mummy, my other mummy. It's a nice gift, and you watch as she reaches down into her clothes and pulls out a really nice looking necklace, and you can see that the necklace itself, it's like a locket. So she clicks it and it opens, but she closes it before you can see anything that's inside it. That's from my other mummy, and puts it away.
That's a fine piece of jewelry you got there. You're very lucky.
Yeah, it helps remind me of her. She's sleeping at the moment.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to have as nice a necklace as that to help remind me of my parents. That's a lovely piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
Small child thinks Brahm again.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't tell Mum that I didn't say my name is Sunny.
Right. Brahm will take a knee. Brahm takes a knee because again he's much taller, but so gets down. I have goes into his pack, having basically rode. I don't think it's a particularly fresh apple. It's a bit bruised. It's like, well, I'm sure they've got better apples than this, but you can have this one if you want.
Oh no, I just wanted to make sure that you had your fruit.
Oh,
fruit is very important. That's what my mummy says.
Oh, your mummy is wise then.
Yes,
bites into this.
My mummy's Hiira.
Hiira. So yeah, no, I met Hiira. She's
really cool. Look at this picture I drew of her, and she shows you a picture. You can see that the picture's folded in one spot, but it's a picture of stick figures of Sunny holding Hira's hand. Me and my mummy. Josh,
is this the picture that was from last episode?
Yeah.
Can I make some sort of perception check? Because there's something added to this picture that I'm just like...
You can make a perception check if you want to.
Yeah. 6.
No?
Brahm is distracted by a happy family union. It's just like, oh, that's did you do this yourself? What? Did you crayon?
What does Hiira want to say?
I feel that might be part of the distractions. He's really engaged. Yeah. He was coming in through the door as it's happening.
Yeah.
Brahm, Sunny, Brahm. No, Sunny's my kid. You touch her, you die. Otherwise, perfectly fine to work with you. You seem like a decent sort.
See?
I wasn't
nice, man.
Wasn't planning on touching a child, but no, because Bram's like taking a knee, hops back slightly, just enough to be like, no, I was just complimenting Sunny on her her drawing. It's,
That's perfectly fine. She's a good kid, and you can talk to her.
good.
It's not a threat. It's a warning.
I acknowledge that.
You seem fine.
Yeah. No. I was just saying to Sonny, it's nice to have a parent who cares so much about you, and it's nice to hear that you would do terrible things to me if I harmed her. I'm glad to, sort of like slightly tips the hat to Sonny. He's like, good for you. And I'm eating.
Yeah. In order for you to harm me, you'd have to catch me, and you watch as she goes down into like a sort of crouch position, and then before your eyes, she disappears and reappears on the counter. She's like, "Ha! Easy, I'm super fast."
I could never catch. Yeah, I love as much as I love a challenge. I know when I'm beaten. That's got the fastest thing in this room. Well done.
One catch. Sit in the seat.
See, my mummy always catches me.
Yeah, mum's good when it comes to that.
Would anyone like a slice of lemon cheesecake? Rodney has made the most amazing one. It's incredible.
Just like, look, is this how you normally start the day? Cheesecake?
No, a misunderstanding actually, but it's well worth it. It will put a zing in your step.
Oh, well, sure. No, that sounds good. Yeah.
I think Elodie she's helped lay the table and has folded the napkins as well.
Oh, don't. Yeah, and Rodney has looked over it every now and then. He's been like, "Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Awesome." While the cheesecake is being presented and being cut, Lucian, you come downstairs.
I feel like Lucian was there the whole time, just stood staring at the pot.
With like a cup of coffee, just like...
just like a huge pile of eggs.
Just having a
massive pile of like...
You're doing a Drax, you're just there eating.
And like, he didn't spot the normal size fork, so he's using like a cake fork as well. And he's just stood there like eating the eggs and just like reading the board like around you all, and just didn't bother acknowledging or speaking or being involved.
So as you're eating with this really small fork, and as Sonny's been sat down, Hiira goes off to go grab some food for the pair of them, and you just watch as Sonny gets off of the chair, walks over to you, looks up at you, and then hands you a really big fork. I think you might need this one. You get more in your mouth that way. It's always more fun when you got more food in your mouth. You take that one?
Nice. Takes it.
Oh, you don't talk much. You're very big.
I am big and I'm quiet.
Not as big as my mummy, but you're very big.
No.
You're bigger than my mummy, but my mummy's scarier than you.
That's ironic. Bet you're scared of her.
Yeah, I'm bored of you now, and walks off.
At least she's honest.
And just before Hiira turns back round to go back to the table, she sat back down in place, like, looks to you and goes, shh.
Okay, that looks like some good food. That's got protein. You actually have to go to school today and stay in school and don't cause your teachers any hassle.
Oh,
Otherwise, Tally will be sad. Tally will be sad.
Did you want me to do the pickup today, Hiira? You're going out on a mission?
Please. Yeah, might as well go see what's on the board and then do some. Those are a couple of things.
Yeah, I could do that for you. I might even drag Lida along with me. She's not due to go out of town for a few days, so take her with me. It's been a long time since she's been to the school, so.
Is she leaving again soon?
Yeah, there's a couple of big jobs that have come up that don't go on the board, and she's chosen to take one of them. It'll take her close to the border, so she'll be leaving in about a week, I reckon.
Oh, okay. Will I still be all right in her room if she's not there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's not a problem at all. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I was going to give you your own room, but Lila seems to be quite happy with sharing, which is odd for her because normally she doesn't like sharing rooms with people. But she seems quite comfortable with you, so I'm more than happy to let you stay there.
She's been a very good friend.
She's a good girl, and I thank you for making sure that she got back here safely.
Well, likewise, it was more her looking after me, to be honest.
I don't doubt that. she's the best in the guild for a reason. Anyway, I need to go and get some paperwork and bits ready. Hiira, would you like me to take Sunny to school?
Yeah, and do you need me to go pick up anything on the way back? Any groceries or supplies? I know you had a shipment in for some of your fag book stuff.
There is something that you could do for me. There are a couple of jobs. There's quite a few jobs on the board anyway, but there's one in particular. There's two in particular that I'm a bit that actually affects us here. So all of the jobs have been given to us, and she's addressing everybody at this point. That's here anyway. All of the jobs have been submitted by people in the town, and I write them up and put them on the board. Two of the requests. The first request is one of the local fishermen is having a problem with his fish. They keep going missing at night, so needs to. And we get a lot of fish come from this particular fisherman, so it's affecting our stocks. And the other one is our farmer that supplies all of our meat and produce and pretty much the entire town as well has not been heard from in a couple of weeks. So we're running very low on that sort of stock, as you can tell by the little amount of food that there is out there. So if you wouldn't mind picking one of those jobs as your first job, they should be just minor things. I don't see. Dad looked over him, and it doesn't look like there's any major threat to him or anything. He's put a star on each of them. So, I should say that each of the jobs are starred. So 1 star is really easy, 5 stars is really hard, and then if they're 5 gold stars, then they're incredibly hard, or something like that. It's some weird ranking system that my dad came up with that I go along with it.
How does he know if he hasn't done the mission how hard it's going to be?
I don't know. It all goes by the information given. Obviously, things could change on the actual job itself. It mainly applies to the hunt missions that are there. So if there's a particular creature that you need to go, like there's a job on the board to go hunt down some drowners that have been spotted on the beach. That one's been given 4 stars, so 4 gold stars. That's quite a difficult one, so I'd avoid that one if you could. But just going to check on the farmer is considered a 1-star mission apparently. So
Lucian sort of just sniffs, pulls the farm one off the board, places it on the table in front of everybody, and just taps it.
All right, we're starting with a 1-star mission then. That doesn't seem too bad.
Rodney was saying that there was he did mention that we were running out of meat.
Well, okay then. Well, at least we got enough lemons. That's something. We won't get scurvy. Pauses. We're not sure that's how that works when it comes to cake, but we'll find out. No, I'm happy to go to a farm for a bit.
There's a personnel issue as well if the guy's gone missing. Just to make sure that he's okay. Hiira is currently just biting into a whole lemon.
No reaction, I assume. Just.
I wasn't scared of you before. I think maybe slightly intimidated by that.
Thank you. Thank you for taking that one. That particular job, you want to go see Tay Tanner at Tanner's Leather in town. They're the person who requested the job itself. They have a quite close relationship with the farmer. So Tanner's Leather is just past the Rusty Pirate. If you want to head down that street that it's on, it is the 4th shop along. It's next to a shop that's been closed for a while called Goggle Springs.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that actually.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's fine. I was just going to ask you where Goggle Springs was, but
oh yeah, it's there. Yeah, it's been shut for a year now, I think. The owners had to go away for a little bit.
Any indication as to why?
No, I saw them as they were leaving. They just said they needed to go north, something to do with family up north. So, but they'll be back. So. Didn't say when, but I'm assuming they'll come back. It's it's the only shop. It's not like it's a chain or anything. So and it was quite a what's the word that they use? quite a cornerstone for the community. It was where a lot of us would go to get our various bits of technology and stuff that we had fixed. So
It sounds like it was quite a useful place.
yeah, it was. It's a shame. I was good friends with the owner's daughter. So
Well, I'm sorry that your friend has moved away. You've heard nothing from them since.
no, I've not had anything. No, the daughter had left a long time ago. She was a big time adventurer. Went up north, got a job at some big, what are they called? Like those sort of the people who like make all the technologies and all of that sort of stuff work in the cities and things. Got one of those sorts of jobs. So she'd moved a long time ago, but I've not heard anything from her since the Rising actually. Well, that's something I hadn't thought about.
I mean, do we need to put that on the board to try and find out what happened to the... Can we nominate jobs? Because if you're talking about it being a cornerstone of the community, maybe it's important we try and bring them back.
I've got the keys to it. They did leave the keys with me, so if anybody else wanted to open the shop, they could.
Just like... I you know, it's like, I know nothing about technology, so...
No, Sonny.
This is very Legend of Zelda, where there's just a child running a shop and being like, yes.
Anyway, I'm going to get on and do some more work. Sunny's got a little bit of time before she needs to go to school. I still need to get Lilla up, actually. Oh, it's going to be fun. Yeah, so if you want to...
quite heavily.
Yes, very heavily. If you all want to get on with your day, I don't see the others. I'll wait for the others to come down and see if they'll take any of the other jobs. Maybe one of them will take this fisherman job. I don't know. Find out next episode. Anyway, yes.
What?
What?
We intentionally take it off, rip it up, throw it away, and like, screw you, narrative.
No one will deal with the fish.
Oh, I've got to write that up again now.
No, we don't do that. Oh, not monsters. No, we do. We rip it up and just watch as it all comes back together. Just...
What is this magical paper?
As you are all potentially getting ready to leave, you watch as Rodney comes out of the kitchen and he's got a sandwich that is 3 times too small for his hand, wrapped up in some little like clean film type stuff, and he's got a little bit of fruit and a little biscuit, not chocolate biscuit, but just like a digestive type biscuit, but it's all wrapped up in a on his hand. And he puts it down onto a little blanket and folds it all up as Tally walks around to the back of the table and pulls out what is the fantasy version of a rucksack. And it's got some sparkles on it, and you know it's got.
I think that's just a rucksack.
Yeah.
It's probably just a rucksack, yeah. And
but what's on it? Which cartoon character in this world is like?
It's all hand drawn, and the main in sort of like, so it's got like that almost plastic type material on the largest facing of it, and a picture has been put underneath it. And it's a picture that's similar to the one that Sunny has shown all of you. It's a picture of Sunny, her mum Hiira, and 2 other people. One, a man with lots of hair and ears similar to Sunny's, and then a woman stood next to her. And that's in that bag. And you watch as the food goes in. Sunny's lunch goes into the bag, and there's this small little bottle that Rodney pulls out of his apron, and he sort of slides that into the side. I have children. This is what I do every day. He puts that into the side package, and he's like, "Little one's food is ready." Oh, thank you, Rodney. That'll save me some time. You're a star, you are. Right. Okay, so gonna get that done and do this and do that. And you hear as Tally shouts upstairs for Lilla to get out of bed, and echoed by Sunny shouting up the stairs.
Don't read any more of the book without me. We have a book club. You can join if you want.
What kind of story?
It is the most boring book I've ever read, but Tally really likes it, so I say nothing. I don't understand it. It's about, I don't know, all of the stuff that they talk about is weird.
Right, I guess if we join the book club, then we can Can we nominate books? Because maybe we pick a better book for the next one.
I would definitely be keen.
It's actually whatever book I bring home from school, as Sunny is stood right next to you.
Oh.
And she's got a really pouty face on.
Oh.
Right.
What are you reading at the moment?
She's just staring at you.
The book, it's Tally's. It's Tally's book that she reads when you go to bed. Your books were amazing and really fun and interesting.
Oh, good. Did I get a hug?
You'll get honey, Brownie. You get all the hugs.
Thank you.
Have a good.
Gives you a big hug. Walks over to Elodie. May I have a little hug, Edie?
Absolutely, yes. It's Elodie.
Edie gives you a little hug.
Okay.
Gives you a little hug.
I brought a book of fairy stories with me as well. If you wanted to borrow it sometime, you're more than welcome.
Fairies. I've heard they're really mischief. I really want to read that. Can I read that?
It's not all about fairies. It's sort of folk tales,
Okay.
fun stories.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. Right. Bye, you two. Waves to Brahm and Lucian. Like, bye.
Yeah,
I'm not hugging you.
No, I not expecting. Have a good day. You have fun now.
I will. Although it's at school, so I don't know.
I never.
School's brilliant.
I never got to go to school, so
Really? What was that like?
Oh,
I had to do dangerous. I'll tell you later. But you stay in school, and then that means you don't have to fight a wolf.
Okay. Come on.
have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Come on, Sonny. We've got to get you ready. Okay. And you just hear a thump upstairs as Lila's probably fallen out of bed. As you all leave.
Let's go. Edie, you talk to me about southern schools. They seem different and more positive. I'm just gonna leave them off.
Elodie, to be clear.
Evie, got it.
Okay.
You can. So, would you all like to go to Tanner's Leather?
Yeah.
Hey, Tanner's Leather.
Tanner's Leather.
As they're walking along, Lucian sort of like goes up to Elodie, just sort of to the side, so and sort of half whispers like, "Do you think that it's Tanner who is a level worker, or do you think he tans leather?" And then just walks on.
Here's a travelling riddle for you.
Wait, what? I think it's probably a case of nominative determinism.
You all carry on walking.
Good.
Good. You walk.
I think that's the first time I've spoken to Elodie.
Didn't even wait for a response, just
Walked.
Again, that's a puzzler for you. Just you come back to me in a bit. Yeah.
So both Brahm and you all know where the Rusty Pirate is because you all passed it in order to get to the docks. So you make your way.
How bad is the Rusty Pirate looking after what happened last night? Like, are the windows shattered? Or...
Outside looks perfectly normal. It's like nothing happened. It was more the inside that got wrecked.
Is the door open?
From what you saw, the doors are open as you approach, and you can see that two people, a man and woman, are both. Looks to be they've got like one of the tables turned over, and the man is like hammering away with a hammer, trying to. Looks like he's fixing one of the tables, and you can see that the woman is moving around, picking up rubbish off the floor, and sort of straightening up some of the outdoor tables and chairs and things, and looks to all of you and just gives you a wave and hello, and walks inside.
that.
There was a fight last night, and we didn't get involved because we don't get involved in this town, it seems.
We're getting involved right now.
Yeah, we're helping the town. We're doing good, right? Yeah.
I think so. Is something wrong?
I think I'm more of a, act first, repercussions later, which taps his chest a bit. we're doing some good. We're doing some good, and we'll get those. We'll stop this sort of thing from happening.
Just be patient. Just be patient.
Again, runs the slightly sort of damaged left hand he has, tries to clench. Yeah, no, yeah, we're gonna go find a farmer, and that's gonna make sure there's food for these people. That's good. That's helping. Yeah.
Shouldn't engage with them. It's that you'd have to be really, really careful about your choices. There's been a couple of times when I've been able to do some very polite redirects, but be aware that if it's not going to work out, that causes... It's choosing your battles, planning out the field.
Yeah. Again, Brahm is like generally like taking this on, like this advice, rather than being like, oh yeah, no, it's. I mean, it's advice that he's been told ever since he was little and has not been very good at listening at, like patience. Flashback to baby Brahm, like in the wolf's mouth, and his mother be like, "Oh, for God, wait for him." Bram's like, "No, I'll take you down." No, we're helping. We're doing good.
Are we here now? Okay.
Tanner, normative determinism.
You finish your conversation just as you get outside Tanner's Leathers. It is just your basic shop. A very sort of Tudor-esque look to the outside of it, as is the same sort of thing along all of these shops, except for Goggle Springs, which has got more of the sort of more modernized look to it, with like 2 windows at the front, those sorts of shops, whereas the rest of them look more like Tudor houses. That one looks like it's been upgraded, but it looks very dusty on the inside. Tanner's Leathers is open. There's a sign outside that says it, and you can enter into if you'd like to, and you'll hear a bell ring, ding, 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 ding.
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Are we inside?
Yeah, you walk inside.
Go in.
You walk inside and you just hear,
We see
hello?
someone-
I haven't turned the light on yet. Hang on.
Oh,
Where's the bloody light switch? Can't find the light. Ah, there it is. And then the lights
Sorry,
turn on.
There are light switches. We have electricity.
There's electricity, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, there's a chiller. There's got to be lights.
Hey,
At some
no,
point.
you know, it's like you never know. Also, because we're living in a world without dark vision, so yeah, everyone needs a light.
And hang on, let my eyes just adjust. Oh dear. Right. Hello. How can I help you? Welcome to Tay's Tanner's. No, Tanner's Leather. Sorry, my name is Tay, and this is my shop. How do you do? And you can see, standing behind the counter, full head of grey hair, very neatly put up into a large bun, is a woman in her late 50s, mid to late 50s, slightly wrinkled skin. Her skin itself looks like it could be leather, but it isn't. It's got that like leathery look to it that older people sometimes get. She's wearing big, very, very big gloves that have looks like the fingers have either worn or there isn't a cover on the gloves. Wearing an apron which looks like it's all covered in some sort of like black material, like almost like oils and things. And she's dusting off some brushes and some knives and things. And you can see in this shop there is some shoes on one side. There's some leather, just basic leathers on the other, and some bits of armor and things around as well that are behind the counter that she seems to be working on. And she's like, "Hello, yes, you're all new faces. I don't recognize any. I've seen you about," and she points to Hiira, but I don't believe I know any of you. What can I do for you today? Are you just passing through?
Bram mentally crosses someone off a list. I mean, like, who knows me? No, we're from the Mercenary Guild.
Oh, Solomon's, right? Okay, yeah.
Like whoever's holding the. Oh, we saw that you were concerned about the farmer, so we're here.
The farmer, yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad somebody. I wasn't sure when Solomon and Tally went around the town and said that they were going to start getting some more permanent residents in and to start putting jobs in and things. I wasn't sure if that was actually going to happen or not. So I'm glad that it is. Yes, my name's Tay. I run this place. I've run it for the past Oh, cool. 40 years now, I think.
Well,
Is it really that long? Yeah, it's got to be nearly 40 years I've run this place for now. Yeah, I inherited it. Sorry, you're not come from my life story.
she started when she was 10. She's in her 50s.
I have been here at least 5 or 6 times. She's like this every single time.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah, so the farmer, yes. So we always have a market that goes on, and the local farmers will come in and they'll set up their stalls. A few of the other shop owners that have stock that they want to get rid of will have open their own stalls and all that as well. And Wilfred's is the most popular. It's always the biggest, always sells the most. Wilfred also provides most of the supplies to all of the different places around here, like the church and the Solomons and the pubs and things. But for the past 2 weeks, and he always comes in here and sees how I am. I was very close to his late wife, almost like sisters, you'd say. But for the past 2 weeks, I've just not heard anything from him, and I'm a bit concerned because he's not been at the market at all. So no deliveries have been made anywhere. I've not had any of his leftovers bought here, so I can make them into leather or anything like that, like the cows and things. But so yeah, I'd like for somebody to go check on him. I can't leave myself to actually.
When he was last in town, did he buy enough supplies to last more than 2 weeks?
He normally lives off of his own produce. He just comes into town to sell it to get a bit of gold so that he can pay protection money to them, and and get the few odds and sods that he can't get from the farm, like a little bit of fish, get some things repaired, that sort of stuff. He's been wanting Goggle Springs next door to open for quite a while so he could get his old field harvester fixed, because at the minute he's having to do it by hand. He gets a lot of the kids from here, kids from the town go out there. The farm itself, it's called Redstone Farm. It's about 2 miles out of the town, out of the main entrance. You go about 2 miles down the road, take a left, and it's just down that little walkway, and you'll see it there. It's a large place, but a lot of the kids go there. That's where a lot of their first jobs are. And but I've not even seen the kids go there recently.
Oh.
Yes, the kids. Why they don't want to go there?
I've not personally asked. I mean, you can go and ask if you want. I know that the Riftseers kid, the people who own the Rusty Pirate, I know their kid works there. So if you want to go speak to them and see if there's a reason why, then you can. But I normally go to the town border with a cup of tea in the morning, and I normally see them off at the weekends when they're going to do their work. They help pick all the veg and stuff for him to bring in the next day, or over the next couple of days, sort of thing. After school work and all that, it's always been good work there, so there's always something to do.
Last 2 questions from me. Had he expressed any worries last time you saw him at the market, and was he, as far as you're aware, on time with his payments to the Reavers?
As far as I'm aware, he was on time with his payments to them. I did see when he was here last time that he did have he was having a sort of a hushed up conversation with one of them in the Rusty Pirate. I couldn't tell you which one of them it was. They all have their faces covered up, so it's difficult to tell. I've never actually met any of them, so I don't know any of them by name. But that was very hush, and it didn't last very long. He left shortly after, and that was the last time I saw him.
All right. Last he was seen chatting to the most dangerous people in the village.
Well, now you put it like that.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure we'll...
I hope so. I mean, the death of his wife hit him incredibly hard, and it wasn't quite the same since. So, as I said, every time he came into town, he'd always pop in and see me. We'd have a cup of tea and stuff, either before he started working on the market or after, or sometimes both. But yeah, I've not really I'm just very worried, and I'd like for somebody to go and have a look to see if he's okay, please.
May I ask how long ago your friend, his wife, passed?
Oh, it was about, I want to say it's about 2 years ago now. It's getting close to 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not super recent then.
No, not super recent, no.
Well, I suppose we can go and inquire at the pub first, as we're right here. But it sounds like maybe the sooner we get to the farm, the better.
Hey. Thank you. And then he just turns around and walks out.
He is gone.
Oh.
Oh.
No, he's it's his nature.
Okay.
Well,
We'll do everything we can. We'll let you know what we find out.
Okay, thank you.
Also, those shoes up there, can you keep them on hold? Because they look like just the right size for something to grow into.
Oh, yeah, sure. What name shall I put them under?
Solomon.
Solomon, okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Puts them down, puts them in a shoebox and shoves them underneath the counter.
Thank you. Is Hiira doing her shopping at the same time? Yes.
it makes sense.
Makes sense.
You've got to multitask sometimes. When you're in town,
Yeah.
you've got to do all the bits.
Also, I couldn't imagine taking Sunny shoe shopping. Just being like, come on, we gotta get you a lot of white shirts as well. So yeah.
You can make your way to... Where would you like to go? Would you like to go straight for the farm, or would you like to go anywhere else?
Are we
It's
gonna-
pub.
Yeah, nip into the pub to... Although I think Elodie will quite happily let Lucian charge onwards towards the pub, and she's gonna sort of just be peering in at the darkened window of Goggle Springs to see what she can see through the dust.
Oh, make me a perception check, please.
7.
7. So the windows are incredibly dusty, but you can just make out the silhouette of some sort of contraption in the window, although you can't. It's almost like a square cuboid type contraption right in the window, but the window is so dusty that you can't make any details out of it. So it looks like there is still stock in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
Come up and like, well, if they got the keys, if there's something you want, I'm sure they'll let us. We could write them a check or something.
No, nothing in particular. I was just curious.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
It sounded very interesting.
Do
That's all.
you know how machines work then? Is that something you...
Then only on a very, very not studied or anything. I just find them fascinating, and I know all the new things that Rodney has. Have you seen the chiller? We'll probably be walking to the pub saying this.
Yeah.
Have you seen the chiller in the kitchen? It's incredible.
I for what? Chilling what? Like
Food.
ice. Oh, so they
That
can...
cheesecake was made in mere moments.
Oh, magic. Right.
Well, yes, but mechanical magic.
Science magic.
Magically infused
Oh,
mechanics.
wow.
It's at this point you hear a loud crash come from the pub area.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Like a rugby player, Brahm starts charging. You're like, almost like bump. Right.
As you charge into the tavern, I should say, not pub. As you charge into the tavern, you can see the doors are still open, so there's no need to burst anything open or anything like that. The man is still leaning over one of the tables trying to fix it, and you can see that there is a large spillage near the counter, and the female that you had seen before, who waved hello to you, is currently on the floor, holding her hand. It looks like blood's pouring out of her hand, and there's this large pot that looks like it's on the floor, and all this liquid's come out of it. On closer inspection, it looks like whatever's happened, a handle that's broken has cut her hand, and whatever the contents, some sort of soup, is sprawled all over the floor, and she's currently on the floor crying. And the husband is, as I said, is leaning over the table and is just springing up to go run to her as you all barrel through the door.
Oh gosh.
I was
Is everything all right?
I was about to say you're right, but you're not. Do you have?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, that's
No.
quite a bit of skin. Oh dear. Ow.
Right, go run that under some clean water. We can. Do you have like bandages? Do you have?
Yeah, I've got
Elf
a
fruit.
first
Does
aid.
anyone have elf fruit?
I'm just going to take her hand and cast Cure Wounds on her.
You cast Cure Wounds, and you watch as the blood itself around the hand dries, and the healing process begins, but it doesn't seal it, doesn't fully heal it. There's still an open wound there, but it's just not pouring out with blood. It's like, oh, thank you. Oh, it still hurts a bit. And the man gets to her and goes, right, don't worry, dear, I'll go. Thank you so much. And as he turns to look at you, you can see that there is a massive bruise on the side of his face. And he's like, thank you. And he pulls his handkerchief out, like a bar cloth thing, and he's like, right. He waves his hand a bit, and you watch as any dirt on it sort of disappears off of it. And he's like, quick, dear, put this over. He wraps it up and begins basically cast pressure dissertation on it, and wraps it and ties it gently. And she winces a bit. She's like, I'm sorry. I need to get some new equipment. This is bloody ridiculous now. Thank you for coming to check on my wife. I'm sorry to have disturbed you. Please.
No, that's fine.
He doesn't make eye contact with any of you when he says this. He just sort of looks up just over the top of your heads and then looks away as he says it, and then sort of cowers as he's trying to in like a protective stance over his wife.
That's fine. It's good for people to help each other. We are, again, like hands up, because I think Brahm came in ready for a fight and is having to let all that adrenaline pour out and be like, it's important if people are in need that people help each other. I understand. I think actually he's a bit too riled up. He's like, also, I'm quite big. I'm going to step a little bit back and let other people talk.
You're all fine. Sorry for my husband. He had a bit of a night last night. My name's Jana. Jana Riffs here, one of the owners of the Rusty Pirate. Thank you. What was your name? Sorry. Looking to Hiira.
Hiira Castillo.
Thank you, Hiira. I've seen you in here a couple of times. That was fascinating. Thank you. So, it still hurts, but that's really good. Thank you.
It should be fine. Just don't use it for about half an hour or so.
Okay, thank you. And there's that moment of awkward silence as she's like, now what do I do?
Are you both okay? If you ever need any extra hands helping out with the fetching and the carrying or tavern assistance, there are more people at Solomon's now.
Oh yes, we did hear.
Yeah.
Thank you, we did hear it.
They can be helpful carrying hands or general assistance.
Yes, we did put a job out actually to Solomon's. We've got a bit of a problem in our cellar at the moment. Is that why you're here?
You know what? Should we say yes? Make it completely
side quest.
we take all, like, when it comes to the next guys, they're like, there are no more jobs. Those four are literally just running around going, cool. We see like the exclamation mark. Like, what have you got? They're like, we need some rat tails. We're like, done. Herbs, done. No. We're actually here. We want to ask about Wilfred over at.
Oh, the farmer, yes. Oh, yeah. Yes. We've not seen him for a little while. Thinking about it, we've not had a delivery.
That's actually what we were concerned about. We also understand your child.
Yes, yeah. One second, she gets up off of her feet, perfectly fine. Goes, Johanna, come downstairs, please. You watch as a girl comes down the stairs. I should explain, both of these two are human, slightly darker coloured skin. The man is bald-headed. The woman has, her hair is black and is about shoulder length. She has it tied up into a small ponytail at the moment. And coming down the stairs is a red-haired, dark-skinned red-haired girl. And she looks at you and she goes, Oh, hi. What can I do for you?
Hello.
My name's Johanna.
Hello, Johanna. Elodie, Hiira, Brahm, and Lucian. We're here because Mr. Wilfred, the farmer.
Yeah.
We heard people haven't heard from him in a while, and we are here to help and to make sure that he's all right. And we heard that you worked with him, so
Yeah.
it's big questions. How was he? Is he okay? Is he of good health? You know, anything?
Okay. Well, she looks like she's probably between the age range of 13 to 16.
I still don't know how to talk to children.
But she's yeah. So me and a bunch of my friends, we normally go out to the farm either in the morning or in the afternoon. In the evenings, it's sort of when we go there, Wilfred will say, "Oh, can you come back in the morning or come back tomorrow evening or something like that?" And we go and we pick fruit. We help with the potatoes. We help load up the cart and stuff for him to bring in the morning. And he pays us quite a lot of money, and he's a good job reference as well. It's about, I don't know now. It's about, I want to say a week, maybe about a week ago. A group of us went to go up there, and I'm going to be honest, we were a bit spooked. There was a lot of blood around. It was coming from some of the where the animals are kept and stuff. And there's never, ever been any issues. I mean, we get wolves and foxes and big cats and bears and all of that sort of stuff. We get all of those sort of animals around here anyway. But there's never anything like that at the farm. Farmer Wilfred has never had a problem with animals attacking his livestock, but when we saw all of the blood, we were a bit concerned, and we went to see Wilfred. He was in the house, and he just told us to come back to the town, and he would send word when he wanted us to come back again. But I mean that was at least over a week ago, I think.
At least I suppose that you saw him, so that's something.
He looked a bit dishevelled. That's a big word. I learned that one. He looked a bit dishevelled. Looked like he hadn't slept for a little while. He was holding one of those things in his hand. It's what you see in the books, the picture books, Mum. The ones that my friend read. Oh yes, the comic books. Yes, crossbow.
Oh. Okay. Well, you'd never seen him armed before.
No, he's never had a reason to be armed before. Like I said, there's never been any wild animal attacks there. There's the only animals we've ever seen have been the ones on the farm, the pigs, the chickens, the cows, the horses. The horses are beautiful. They're the ones that bring the cart in every day for him. There was a couple of donkeys. There was some other farmyard animals, some pigs. There we go, and some other things that Josh can't currently think of.
Look,
That
old
sounds
MacDonald
wonderful.
had a farm. E-I-O. Yeah. Just
Do we think we need to know anything more, or do we think we should head over there rather sooner?
When else would
Again.
have access to the farm?
had trying subtlety here. Had Wilfred had any other troubles recently outside of wild animals?
As far as I'm aware, there was a couple of times when a couple of some of those really horrible men came up to the farm. The ones that, and looks over to her dad.
I also flicks over to the dad.
And yes, no, we know who you mean. Yeah,
Red ribbons.
The red ribbons. Yeah, there's been a few times where they've appeared. Had a talk with him, we've noticed, and then left. There's never been any never seen any violence towards him or anything like that. There was a couple of that I don't know if I should say. Actually, no, don't worry about it. Yeah, sort of withdraws into herself.
I mean, we're also now taking slightly a knee. We're just like, look, we're trying to help people in this town, and if there is trouble, if there are nasty men who are doing bad things, we we need to know so we can stop it. So we can make sure, and kind of looking at the dad as well, make sure no one else gets hurt.
Make a persuasion check, please.
Oh, Brahm.
Okay, can we be helping? Or at
Yeah,
least
if
Elodie
anyone-
is trying to be like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like to think like it's like that camera thing. I take a knee, and then Elodie's also leaning in, like, yeah.
Who'd like to help? Elodie?
I will help.
Hiira, is there any way you'd like to help?
I'm currently finishing off the bandages on the
That's
wife.
that's helpful.
I think I
Yeah.
consider that to be helping. Lucian, are you helping in any way?
Mm-mm.
That's fair. So,
Lucian is
I
just
think-
hitting a table.
Lucian thinks the path of questioning you're going down is a mistake, so just gonna stay quiet.
you
So
can
does
take,
Brahm, but Bram's on his own act of vengeance.
so you can take a persuasion check with advantage and then add +1
Beautiful.
because
So-
I don't understand why you can't stack.
Mm.
So perception and then any additional help gives you an additional +1.
Cool. So that was a 10 and a 13 plus 2, which is 15 plus another one, so 16.
16. So she looks at you and she sort of looks around and then looks you dead in the eye, smiles a little bit, goes a bit red in the face. Okay, right. There was one time, it was in the evening, we just finished up our work for the night and we were supposed to leave. A bunch of my friends had already left, but I'd left one of my gloves in the field, so I quickly ran back to get it, and I noticed those figures, the reavers. I noticed them going up into the mountains. There's a crack or like a natural thing leads up into the mountains, and I saw them going up that way. But
That's
they had something with them, something big. I'm not quite sure what it was, but
right.
it was covered up in a box or something. It was dark, so but I just saw them go up there, and it's not a path that is normally taken by people.
That's right. That's useful. That's good to know. That's gonna
No, you've said that piece of information made me forget you ever saw whatever you saw, and I highly encourage you don't mention that again.
Okay. Looks over to her mum and dad, and they both go, "Yeah, it's fine. They're from Solomon's. It's all right. Okay, all right, okay. I've got to get ready for school now." And she runs back upstairs.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Brahm and anybody else, do you mind if I have a word with you outside?
Sure.
Salute the couple.
You have a good day, folks. We'll try and-
Thank you for coming to check on us, and hopefully somebody comes and sorts out our problems soon. But thank you.
well, quite.
So one final thought is just if there's anything that I've noticed about, the weather patterns, the moon, anything about a week ago when all of this was happening.
Make a nature check.
Okay. I am really not good at nature. Great. Because I'm dumb south.
Are you vocalizing it? Because we could, if you turned to us and were like, "What was the moon like a week ago?" We could be like, "Well, I mean, I was on a boat."
Anyone
but
can
that was
roll.
Yeah,
Beans, you
sure.
said it out loud. Anybody could roll.
But is Hiira saying it out loud?
I would. I think if we've been called out to come outside by Lucian and we're all saying goodbye, I'll probably just be muttering to myself, going, "What was the weather like last week? The moon, any rain, what was happening? My God, find the causes of facts."
Can I make a history check rather than a nature check?
Of course.
I got a 13 where I was hitting things with like a bill hook. I was like going, who knows about weather at sea, you know?
I rolled a 14 minus 1.
Oh, 13 as
24.
well. 24 with history. Okay. So with
Elodie has keeps weather report notes.
Almanac.
She's writing an almanac.
so with the two 13s, You don't quite remember when the full moon was, but you do both recall differently because you were in different locations. For Hiira, you were here, and it was a clear night. You remember that, not specifically the exact day, but that particular time period, it was quite clear all night. For Brahm, it was quite choppy and stormy because you were beginning to travel down on a boat. You were on the northeast coast in Grimport, getting ready to get on a boat to travel down across the shallows, and the entire east coast of Idorune is on something known as the storm. Is all known as the Storm Coast because it's normally quite stormy out in that part of the shallows. So it was a bit choppy and horrible. For Elodie, you were traveling with Lilla at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember that it was a full moon. In fact, it was 2 full moons because there are 2 moons.
How often does that happen?
It's rare. So a standard full moon is normally once a month. There are 13 months in Aeodrun's yearly cycle. There are 13 months, and there is a twin moon every 3 months. Twin full moon.
So hang on. The double full moon is every 3 months, or just a twin moon at the same time is every 3 months?
The twin moon. So both moons at the same time full is every 3 months, and a single full moon is every month.
Cool.
Other than that 3rd month, if that makes sense, when you get 2 of them instead.
So you get like 1 full moon, the other full moon, then 2 of them together.
Yeah. Yeah.
A week ago, it was a double full moon. Did you not see it? It was beautiful.
No. I was at sea. There was storms and things grabbing at me. But I do enjoy a double full moon. That is one of nature's beauties. Yeah.
Moon is up there. Child is down there.
She's not wrong. That's all factually true.
That is true. It was very beautiful though. It was a clear night and just a little bit cool, so it was a bit sparkly, and it was very lovely.
I mean, I don't want to take away from Mike yelling at me, but can we make like a nature check? Because like we all vaguely know what happens with full moons in fantasy. Is that something that also is applicable to this realm? Can we make something to be like, hey, what happens when there's a double full moon?
I don't think you would need to roll a check for it. Yeah, there are were creatures. They take on... So the animal folk in the world are humans that have animal features. And were folk make them become, werewolves, were tigers, were sharks, all of the different types of creatures where they actually become more animalistic. But it's not like in traditional D&D where you could become a werewolf on hind legs and then a wolf. You just become the sort of hybrid sort of thing. If it's a twin moon, then it's bad. That's when they are said, and this would be more Elodie that would know this because of your particular class and teachings, that on a twin moon, where creatures are said to go almost berserk with power and are nigh unkillable. They regenerate, all of their abilities are enhanced. Their self-regeneration, their strength, their speed, everything is enhanced to a degree that nobody has ever been able to know. There have been plenty of people who have tried to say that they've taken on a werewolf at the height of a twin moon. Never been any proof of it.
I nearly was a lycanthrope blood hunter. Another life.
That would have been fun.
It was me who killed the cows.
I realised we had a lot of frontliners, and I was like, I'm going to do something different. We need more magic. Okay, so yeah, will have gone on about the moon being extra beautiful and then gone, oh, do we think there's some lycanthropy there? Or
Just Queen out.
where something? It would be particularly bad on a double full moon.
And that the farmer got attacked. I mean...
Or the farmer is?
Well, that he managed to control it, apart from last couple of weeks ago when he killed the...
Well, fortunately, we're a little way away from the next full moon, so hopefully we'll be safe from that particular problem, if that is the case.
It's also early in the day, so if it's only by the moon, then...
Oh, moon does come out during the day sometimes.
What?
I have a question for the DM, which is, for reasons, have I encountered any yes or no?
I'm going to say yes. And it's up to you if you want me to go into detail on it.
No secrets. Just
Did I do well?
Yeah, just some nice questions.
Yes, not personally, but you know, like you haven't personally fought a werewolf, but you have seen a fight in action.
Oh, training days are pretty harsh. Let's go. We need to go pick up some supplies. Make sure
All right.
get some things organised, just in the very case. And then make our way there so we can deal with the problem.
Yeah, I think if you sort of gestured to Lucian, I was like, I think we need to have a chat, but we'll be with you shortly.
Everybody's welcome.
Oh man, Dad's gonna yell at me in front of everyone.
Yeah, we'll do it as like a walk and talk thing, as you're
Yeah.
living in the town sort of thing. So feel free to have that conversation, and we'll go to break.
So, I feel like I owe you an apology.
Brahm fully being prepared to being told off, like kind of straightens up a bit in shock. You're like, you do?
Yeah, because I assumed you'd have a little bit more tact and sensibility about the questions you might ask people.
Bram's shoulders fall back. What's wrong? It's important we know that they get these. Look, this is our main issue in this town, and I just need to.
It's your main issue, and what I just want you to understand, and if you want to carry on down this path, that's sure, but what you don't realize is going to happen is you're going to get everybody killed around you by forcing them to admit every little piece of information they've got on a group, that if they find out that they're talking to you and you're the person asking questions, they're going to get killed for it. You're going to have to figure out how to be either control how you feel about it or be more subtle. Now, maybe it's my fault I did bring them up with the tanner shop, but you've got to be careful, man. What you're doing is you're going to get that kid killed. She's got a piece of information that does not need to be said again. She doesn't know you and you don't know her. What if someone was walking past the shop and they hear it and go, oh, that's an easy couple of coin to be made? Think carefully about the questions you ask. And if someone's been careful and scared after we followed a line of questioning that could put their Evas in an awkward situation, think about the consequences. It's not just your revenge that you're gonna cause. You're gonna end up having to avenge a lot of dead bodies. Just go steady, man.
Yeah. No, that's... Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
You've got some good shoulders on you, and just go steady. Nobody here is questioning that what's been done to you is hard or even unfair, but you don't solve problems this way. But hey, it's only your second day back. Don't beat yourself up. That's my job.
Yeah. I've been by myself too long. I need someone to get a good idea into this old head of mine. Thanks, Lucian.
And apologies for assuming I can speak to you that in manner in the first place. I guess we don't know each other.
I need it.
Elodie, Hiira, thanks for letting me have my piece. And then he kind of just turns around and walks.
I think Elodie will take a second and then just sort of quietly, just very gently pat Brahm's arm, and then just kind of, it's barely a whisper, but just, I hate bullies too. And then we'll just sort of head down, follow Lucian very quietly.
Slightly turn to look at Hiira, being like, hey, mama, yeah.
Don't fuck up.
Follow the device.
Let's get some shit to go and stop a monster. Or at least talk it down if we can. Kill it if we can't.
Just before we go to break, you all travel towards where the farm is. The farm itself is actually called Redstone Farm. You travel for 2 miles. You find the turn in the road that leads down towards where it is. You all notice, doesn't matter how low your passive perceptions are, you all notice that there is a distinct lack of, as you get closer to the farm, a distinct lack of birds in the sky. As you're closer to the town, there's seagulls and things around and all of that, and normally you'd expect to see the odd bird flying around, especially considering the fact you're still quite close to the coast, so there might be the odd seagull still, but there's nothing in the skies, and it seems to be dead quiet as you begin entering into the farmstead itself. And the first thing that you see on the floor in front of you is traces of blood. And that is where we are going to take our break. Thank you very much, everybody. Sorry it went over a little bit, but I want to make sure that everybody got their little RP moments in and we got the details of what they actually need to do.
My dad is so mad at me.
Sorry, Dom.
My dad's mum's upset. Sister doesn't. And where's Greta? Greta would never talk to me like that.
Anyway, we're going to go take a quick 5 to 10 minute short rest. We will see you in a little bit for the next part of our Awakening campaign. Goodbye. Welcome back, everybody. We have had our short rests. We have refilled our drinks, and we are ready to dive back into the next. Oh, yes, Tyler.
The answer to the anagram is cheesecake.
There we go. If you got that,
Yes, it is.
put it in chat.
You get inspiration, chat. We don't.
Yeah, chat gets inspiration. I'm not nice enough to give
Stingy
inspiration.
Josh.
Dingy Josh.
In the first half, our party had some breakfast, made some cheesecake, worked out how a chiller works, went to a shop and learnt about a mission to go and see if a farmer is okay, discussed whether werewolves or were creatures might be involved, helped somebody with a cut hand, and one player told another player off. It wasn't really a telling off, it was more of a character growth moment.
No, it was a
No,
player
Barry.
telling another player off.
No.
We cut to the break and Mike's like, you fucking listen to me.
Somehow my hand went through the camera.
Yeah.
You've got a child in danger again. I will go and...
The thing is, though, with how you two are positioned on my camera, Mike, if you were to put your hand just off of the screen and Tom, you were to do that, it would look like you're grabbing his throat.
Yeah.
Very affectionately. And this is why I wear the scarf, folks. So it's harder to grab. You know.
Anyway, we jump back in as our party has arrived at the Redstone Farm, and there are traces of blood leading up towards leading into the premises itself. I'm going to ask all of you what you would like to do.
Into the house, the blood's going.
It's just leading into the land area, so make a perception check. Anybody who wants to.
Dirty
Perception
20.
or investigation. Different results depending on what you roll.
Oh, bam. 23.
Also 23 perception.
Awesome. Was yours perception, Lucian?
23 as well.
Perception or investigation?
Oh, that was a perception.
Awesome. Okay, so 2 23s.
Investigation.
I'm not very good at that.
Bram, what
Would
did you get?
this? Oh, sorry.
Go on. Yeah, no, go on. Yeah.
I have advantage on wisdom checks to track
Ooh.
faith fiends or undead. That does not include lycanthropes. Never mind.
I mean, it's worth checking.
It's worth
Just-
checking.
yeah. When the low advantage thing pops up and you're like, interesting.
Is it? Well, it's confusing because
How
on
important.
Beyond it just permanently has advantage next to those stats, but I need to remember that actually it's not permanent advantage. It's only when in that specific circumstance.
You just declare everything to be a fiend and you're like, this counts.
You,
You're
sir, are a
fiend.
fiend.
Can I change perception to a 21 in investigation? Because that's kind of what I was thinking in my head I wanted to do before you said perception the first time.
Yep,
Okay, cool.
that is perfectly right. What did you roll, Bram?
That was a dirty 20 for
Oh,
perception.
Jesus, high rolls.
I'm keeping my peepers peeled.
We have solved it. Bye.
was the big wolf
That's
guy
not good.
covered in blood? Oh no!
I only rolled an 8 total on investigation, so I think what's happening is as we've got closer and we've started to see the blood, Elodie has started whispering to herself.
Seems fine.
There is a cold shiver that does run down your spine. For those of you that rolled perception, you can see, just by looking around, that the blood itself does not lead up to the farmhouse itself. It leads towards where you would assume the animals would be kept. You can see there's a large typical red barn with its doors wide open. They're sort of swaying in the wind at the moment, and there are a couple of pens with various different types of, whether it be mud, grass. There's a few that have got hay in. Different types of animals are normally kept here. And next to the barn is a large grey building made out of a combination of brick and wood. And the blood seems to lead up towards that. With an investigation check, you can see the blood, you see the exact same thing, but with the extra little bit of detail that goes into investigating, you can see that there is drag marks that aren't leading from where you're currently stood, but from where the pens are, and it seems to be dragging off away from the farm towards the back end of it, behind the building.
Is it fresh blood, or does it look like it's been there for a week?
Using the perception and investigation checks that you've already rolled, you can do the usual sort of dip
Bram's
finger in the
sticking his
mud.
fingers in there.
Yeah. Do all of that sort of stuff. The blood isn't fresh. It's probably, because you rolled so high, I'd say 7 days old. So it's at that stage where it's dried, but because it's on like mud, it's still got that sort of wet consistency to it. But you can tell that it's quite, with the investigation check, you can see that the indentations are, you can tell how old they are because somehow you can do that with tracking. It's about a week old.
Are we going in hard and fast around here, or are we going quiet and subtle?
Subtle. Question. When you say dragged, does it look like it's active or passive, as if something dragged itself or something was dragged by something else?
I think you would need to go closer because at the minute you're not exactly where the pens are. You're like at the division where you could go towards the farmhouse or you could go towards the pens. You can see the drag marks from where you are, but in order to tell that, you're going to need to get a lot closer.
I think subtle's the way to go. We don't know if anything's still out there. What might be around?
All right, then.
With the perception checks as well, in particular, you do notice with the barn door opening and closing, there looks to be some sort of strange mechanism in there, almost like a crane, and there seems to be a string and what looks to be some sort of a net that is broken, and there looks to be bits of meat on the floor.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. Trap. Just... then turn back to Elodie, and I think this is where I might clock that you're doing the whispering thing. I was like, you're right, you're right.
I don't like it either. Do you think we should risk it? Fine.
Brahm has just said, meat, trap, you were right.
A trap, yes. It looks like it.
Where? Wolf.
Right. Concerning.
Brahm sounds like, wow. Wow, you're being real social today, Shadowroak. Really good job. No, just like...
Elodie has got one of the vials in her hand, and is sort of looking around at the sort of area and at the three of you, and just sort of takes a moment. Oh, sod it, let's try it.
Oh, she's getting day drunk.
Not sure that's appropriate.
She's going to drink one of the vials. And I think nothing visibly changes, but she does kind of cough. Good grief, that was disgusting. Right. All right then, chaps, let's get to this, shall we?
Captain. Pivot back to the other two.
What are you all staring at? Come along then. What have we got? Trap, yes?
Trap.
Insight check.
Yeah.
You roll an insight check. Nat, what would you like to roll anything in counterance to that?
I'm not deceiving. I'm not performing.
I mean, I got a dirty 20 where Bram's like, I'm used to people going very weird when they go into combat. So I'm just like...
Is she just actually drunk and this is her karma drunk self?
The voice that you can hear, like Nat putting on the accent, is like Elodie putting on the accent, but the countenance has completely changed. She's gone from standing sort of slightly hunched to hide her height and kind of fidgeting with her hands to full-on principal boy, hands on hips, staring around, ready for action.
I guess we're not doing so.
No.
Oh, subtlety. No, I can be stealthy. That's what I'm famous for. Ha, like the wind.
Good. God. Elodie still?
What? No. Celerimus, my dear chap. Celerimus. Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Yes. No,
Nice
we should have done that
yeah.
introduction. I
Yeah.
realise that's a little confusing. Yeah, but I Brahm, Lucian, Hiira. Fine.
Yeah.
Celerimus. Hello.
Pleasure.
This is not in the personnel reports.
I turn to the other two. I assume ghost, but right. Okay, Solanris. Do you have a knowledge about like werewolves or?
Oh
tracking?
goodness, no. I've fought a few in my day, so they say.
Oh. I would ask who they is, but I think we're on a bit of a time limit.
The other thing, evidence aside, the werewolf thing, I'm not sure I'm following. We currently have like very little evidence that really like points to that, bar like an assumption. But have we checked if he's in?
You didn't even think to knock on the door. Good grief, chaps! Come along then.
Not here. Stop yelling. I really don't like when people yell at me.
Here, can you make
Is
me
it
a history
yelling?
check,
I can be
please?
quieter. Sorry.
That's better.
Yes, history check from Hiira, please. as you approach, and you all want to approach the barn house, and not the barn house, the farmhouse.
Yeah. Might as well check it.
History
Yes.
by myself.
Occurred to Brahm that you can't say, please don't yell at me. That's an option.
Okay, I have a -1 to all intelligences, so that I'm just not smart down south, okay? Not my fault.
Beg your pardon.
Not my fault. 17.
17. That name that Elodie is saying rings a bell, but it's like on the tip of your tongue. You can't quite picture it, but the name rings a bell.
Rings a bell. Investigate further.
Do not trust.
Put it on the board.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Oh, I don't trust anyone.
Okay. Correct assumption.
Meanwhile, we'll have strode up to the door and given like just a gentle rap upon it.
The door, as you rap a tap on it, opens.
Ah, spooky.
Mm.
I mean, are we going in? I mean, it might just be a possibility he fell down some stairs, which would be horrible, but would be... How much are we getting paid for this?
You didn't even check the pay? Good grief.
There's a star system. We don't know if that's how... Actually, look at Hiira. How does it work? Do we get paid a rate, or is it just time? What's the payment?
There's base rate for each job, and then you get an increase on it based on the difficulty of the job. If the job turns out more difficult than predicted, you get hazard pay, and then Rodney makes you snacks.
Oh, well.
No, we're here because Tally asked specifically for a favour on this one.
We're doing it for the snacks, right? Okay. No, well, if our new friend's feeling bold, sort of gesture for them to...
Old friend, technically. Well, no, still less than a day, I suppose. So we wanted to do stealthy, yes?
So,
Yes.
A little quiet in and out? No problem. And I will start sneaking in.
Okay. Anybody who wants to sneak, make me a stealth check, please.
Again, look at the other two, like, what is going... Looking at them trying to, like, yeah, no, I think when Lucian also does this, like, it's like, because Bram's like, is this a thing that happens? I'm new, I'm literally off the boat. I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm going to try stealth.
I roll with disadvantage.
Same. Oh, yeah.
I have 4.
I got 5.
okay.
19.
For such a big bloke, I'm surprisingly sneaky. 18.
So both I'm gonna call you Elodie. Both Elodie and Lucian, you're both at the front, you're able to sneak in quick and quietly. You go straight into the hallway and dart straight into the side room, which would be like the living room.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. However, for Hiira and Brahm, as you both step in, you instantly step on the creakiest floorboard you have ever witnessed in your entire life, and it's just that really loud noise, and then you hear a voice from within the building go, "I told you bloody kids to stay away. I'll call for you when I need you."
Lucian's gonna look at Elodie and just go like, shh, and sort of like we carry on quietly and let those two be caught.
Mr. Wilfreds, we're here from the town. We're here to check that you're all right. No one's
better not be any of those bloody bandits.
No, I can sincerely... Looks out at the red scarf. I can sincerely promise you we are the exact opposite of the bloody bandits.
Tay sent us to check in on you. She's very worried.
You hear more creaking floorboards, but it sounds like something is coming from below you. And at the far end of the hallway, there is a closed door. And the door opens slightly, and you can just see the edge of a bolt stick out.
Oh.
And you just see a pair of eyes on the other side.
No,
You say
no,
Tay
no.
sent you?
Yeah, from the Tanners. We're part of the Solomon mercenaries.
Solomon, you say?
It's Solomon, yes.
He's going to roll an insight check.
Does it look like there's another way into where he is from the back, like off from the room that we're in?
Not from where you are. From where you two have moved around. You've moved around like the living front room sort of area and into what would be the dining room, where there's a door that leads back into the hallway and into the kitchen, which would take you just behind where he is. And you can see just on the door as he's opened it a little bit, so you two can see on the door it says basement.
Guess I'll go that way for now, just in case he decides to loose a bolt. I can almost just snatch the crossbow out of his hands. I'm not looking to do any harm. I'm just to take it if it decides to go wrong.
He pushes the door open a little bit more, and you can see as he steps out, he is a elderly gentleman, probably in his mid-60s. Looks like he is human, quite short on the human side, balding head with the sort of grey hair going around sort of like the bottom part of his little scruffily, unkept beard. Looks like he's not shaved in a few weeks. Really drawn out skin with bags under his eyes. His clothes look like they're dirty and haven't been washed for a little while. Got a few holes everywhere, and he's holding a very pristine looking crossbow in his hands as he steps up and goes, right,
We can show you the job if you. The town's worried about you, and they want to make sure that you're all right.
I believe you. You're not Reavers. Reavers are loud and proud about wearing their stupid red. He sees your scarf. Red.
No. It's. I need someone to get me a new scarf.
It's crimson, not red. Other people can like color choices.
Right. No, yeah, I see. I don't see the black bit at the end of it. Right.
Undoes it. Like, I realise I'm holding up a black tag on the thing as well. I'm like, no,
That's not helpful.
No. I know.
Right.
Mother, why?
He lowers the crossbow.
This is literally the colours of my mother's mercenary group. I'm like, oh.
Come on.
Oh. No, we're not.
You put down the crossbow gently.
It's down.
But go and just in a neutral space, and you can tell us why you're acting terrified of the world around you, that your friends and small children are concerned for you because you don't want them to be scared of you.
Takes his hand off of the trigger, places the hand that was holding that part. He's still got hold of the crossbow at the bottom part, but he places his other hand on top of the bit that goes under the end of it, the stock part. Right. Well, I've had a few problems over the past couple of weeks. Is it just the two of you? Do you want? Can I get you some tea or anything? Closes steps fully out of the basement. You can see he's only got one shoe on, and he shuts the door to the basement.
Sorry.
I think seeing that he is all right and he's not about to attack will probably come out as well.
I'm like, well, and then they step out.
Full disclosure, we're here as well.
No, they're with us. They're with us.
They're with you?
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
Totally understand. Didn't mean to surprise. Just wanted to make sure everything was all right.
Right. Okay. Yes. So you're from Solomon's. Okay, that's good. Solomon's a good friend. Tay sent you. That's good. And I was hoping that they would notice that I'd not been to the town for a little while. Yes. Sorry. How rude of me. And he places the crossbow down up against the wall. Brushes himself off, looks at his hands. It's still dirty. I'm sorry. I would shake your hand, but I'm very dirty. My name is Wilfred. This is my farm. This is Redstone Farm. Welcome. I'm having some issues at the moment. There's been a few attacks. I haven't been able to get any of my stock to the town. My horse, two of my horses, my two prized horses were killed recently.
Yeah, what a shame. What caused it?
I don't actually know what caused it.
Insight check.
Yes, you can insight check that.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to can.
So much.
7. I guess he doesn't know what happened.
12.
I can
11.
21.
So Lucian and Hiira, you both know that he's lying. He's definitely lying.
You may not know exactly, but I can tell that you have your suspicions. This is a place of trust. Tell us what you believe it might be.
I'm going to use your 21, so you don't have to roll persuasion. I don't want it to be true. And he looks out the window towards the barn where you can see what Bran called a trap with the meat hanging down. It's a bit of a long story, but 10 years ago, I was tending my farm, as I do, and I saw some rustling in the bushes. Wasn't too sure what to make of it. We'd had a lot of animal attacks, a lot of foxes killing my smaller stock. Had some wolves going after the cows and stuff. I thought it might have been them trying to attack again, but this time it was during the day and it was a bit strange. But when I went into the field, I found this small baby. I think they're called younglings. It was a griffin. Thing looked terribly injured. Griffins, I don't know if you know much about them, but usually they don't come this far down from the mountains unless they're hunting. Definitely the babies don't. They normally stay in the nest until they're a certain age. I've done a lot of research on griffins since meeting this one. He smiles a little bit. His face instantly goes sad. But this one didn't have anyone, no parents or anything. So me and my wife, we took it in, named her Farah. Beautiful little thing. She used to live out in the red shed, in the red barn. Sorry, that contraption you can see out there. That was what we used to feed her. We'd feed her all the meat of the. We'd kill the animals. We'd when we'd do the slaughter, we'd pack up the meat that we take into the town and stuff, and then whatever we couldn't use, we'd feed to Farah, and wonderful creature. And then when she got a bit too big, there's an old mountain pass that's never trod by anybody. So I took her up there when she was a bit older, and she made a nest up there, docile as anything towards us, wouldn't harm a fly. And then we noticed once she was like given her own, when she was allowed to sort of like spread her own wings, as it were, we noticed that all the animals stopped attacking. We got no wolves, no foxes, no nothing, and she was a godsend. She was like our little guardian angel. And every couple of days we'd stock up the meat stack for her. She'd come down, big girl she is now, big lass, and she'd go in there and she'd eat it up. And every now and then when I'm out there, I'd get to pet her and stuff. And there was a couple of times when she'd let me ride her. She's not too fond on other people getting on her back. She tends to come down at night when there's nobody here. But she never attacked any of the other animals that we have. None of the living stock, never. Even when she was a baby, never. And then one day I just heard this god awful scream or screech come from outside. It was about just over a week ago now, and I just saw one of my horses laying in two pieces. Well, I say two pieces. The bottom half of it was here. The rest of it had gone. And I just can't. She can't have gone. She can't have done that. I don't want anything to. I don't want anything to hurt her. But I don't want. I can't have. I need to get my stuff to the town to sell it. Otherwise, I can't keep the farm open. I can't protect myself from the reavers or anything like that. Is that what you're here for? You're not gonna hurt her, are you?
We're here to help you, my friend. Do not worry. This sounds like a case for this team. We need a name. It would have sounded better if I had a name.
It's Solomon's Mercenaries.
This sounds like a case for Solomon's Mercenaries.
Oh, right. Oh, that sounds. But please, please don't hurt her if you can avoid it. I mean, obviously, if she's gone, I don't want to think about her going feral. She was such a lovely creature, such beautiful, lovely feathers and fur and everything.
My friend is reminding me that there's a thing about the moon. Has she ever reacted to the full moon before, the double full moon?
No, never heard anything. No, we saw the full moon. No, never had anything on that before. No, she never acted strangely towards it. No.
And you never had any issues around that time, in general?
No. I mean, at that sort of time, the last, not the one a couple of weeks ago, but the last time before that, talking about 3 months ago, sort of thing, when the last twin moon, she was flying around and perfectly silhouetted in the sky on the moon. It was lovely. I was actually able to get a picture of it. Bear with me. And he disappears into a room that looks like the kitchen area, and he comes out, and then he's got a painting. And the painting is of the night sky. You can see the red barn in one of the corners, the twin moons, one large one smaller one, and silhouetted in between them is this large, majestic griffin creature with a wingspan that spreads almost the size of the biggest moon. She's absolutely gorgeous creature. I really, just me and my wife, we never actually had kids of our own, and Pharaoh was like one of our own. Was like our kid, and after my wife passed away, she's really all I've got left. So if you could please avoid hurting her, I'd be very grateful.
Remind me how long ago she went missing?
Oh, when all of this happened was just over a week ago.
Okay. And how often and what conditions did she come flying around?
Oh, she was always in good spirits. She'd come flying down 2-3 times a week to get food out of the barn. I will say that out there is not normally how she acts, and he points to the barn. She's normally, she normally just picks at the meat that's in the net rather than ripping the net apart itself. So that's not like her, to be fair. And she normally doesn't leave half-eaten meat around. Like I say, she's never attacked any of the livestock either, so I don't know. Did
you actually witness her doing this attack?
No, I just heard the screech. Did
you hear the sounds of her screech? Her wings?
No, wings. It's difficult to determine. There were large wing beats I could hear.
You did hear wings?
I did hear wings. I didn't hear. I've never heard her screech before, so I don't know if it was actually her or not. She's never been the screechy type. It's normally more of a like a roar type thing that she does, but this wasn't quite like that. This was more of a feral screech noise, and it's just I'm just hoping that she's not gone feral. I'd hate that for that. Like I said, she's the last thing I've got.
I'm not very good at it, so I don't know if it would even really be in my wheelhouse, but Lucian pictures a griffin, and he's sort of like 50% sure griffins don't drag bodies on the ground, they grab them and fly off. Would I be able to assume that, or would you like me to make a nature check on whether I believe that to be a thing?
I would say you could. It would be quite an easy assumption. Everybody knows what griffins are to some degree. loads of different stories of them around. They're not the rarest of creatures in the world, so it wouldn't be unheard of to have that. Normally they are quite ferocious, and they are sort of the thing that you're normally told to be very wary of. But you are right in the assumption that they would take their prey away, normally alive, but normally kill it first. But from what Wilfred is saying, the horse was killed before it was taken away.
So, Wilfred, I don't want to get your hopes up, but I'm sorry, but the story doesn't make sense to pin it on Farah. As far as I'm aware, when a griffin comes for something, it'll take it, well, alive and fly it away, not drag it along the floor with blood and viscous everywhere. The two things don't align. And I'm sure the rest of us would agree we're not in the business of killing something that isn't an actual danger. So do you have any other inkling of anything else? I mean, we appreciate you telling us that Farah's around, but it doesn't sound like it'd be her, especially if, 10 years and you've never had a single incident?
No,
You've never heard from neighboring farms? Anything?
No, nothing, never. No. We're too far out for the other farms to be sort of affected by the what do they call it? For it to fall under her territory, sort of thing. So a lot of the other, unfortunately, us not getting many attacks here has caused a couple of the other farmers to get attacks of their own. A few of the other farmers have mercenaries that stay at the farm to sort of protect it from wolf attacks and all that sort of stuff. But no, never griffin attacks. And I agree with you. The research that I've done on griffins, dragging away I'm hoping it's not her, but you don't know what could cause a creature to go.
No, but feral. I don't believe in good faith we could go and, kill Farah out of the assumption that it's her when the evidence certainly doesn't suggest that.
Could you go check to see if it's her, if I was to tell you where her nest was?
I think that sounds like a good idea. Action.
How do you recommend we approach that area? Do you have stuff that smells like you? I don't know anything about griffins, so I don't know how we could make a positive association with ourselves to her. I mean, it's not like we're going to go pet her.
Well, normally griffins are very territorial and won't let anything that isn't another griffin, or at least a family member of their own, close to their nest, as it were. But and it could be a detriment to Farah, but she is more accepting of humanoids. So if you were to approach in a sort of respectful manner, I haven't needed to do it so much in later years, but in early years it was always a case of you sort of hold your hand out and bow slightly to her until she approaches you, and then when she comes to you, you'll be and sort of you'll know when she accepts you, and then you can approach, sort of thing.
So what I'm hearing is let Brahm go first.
With a respectful bow.
I'm very polite and also very foolhardy, so if anyone's gonna...
Heroic, my friend. Heroic is what you are.
Hey, as long as it's not a harpy, then I think we can handle it.
It's fine. I'll stand behind you.
Thank you. It's nice to know I've got people behind me. Right. Thank you. Thank you for your hospitality. Hopefully we can get this sorted so you can get back. As I've said, the town does really miss you.
I miss town. I sort of the highlight of my day, going there to sell my stuff on the market, go get to see Tay, sell some stock and, all that sort of stuff. I used to love having the kids come up here and do the work. It was nice having them around. Like I said, me and my wife never had kids, so it was nice having them around and watching them do the work and play with the animals and things. It was always always good. I'd always be out there with them and doing stuff. But I'm getting on in years now, and my knees aren't quite letting me get on the floor to pick things. But yeah, the fact that they always come here, there's such wonderful kids down there. Anyway, he goes to pick up the crossbow again. Let me show you where the pass is.
I have two questions before we move on, which is, how big is a 10-year-old griffin?
Right.
And yes, but also I'm trying to equate it with the drag marks that we saw.
You can. What? So griffins are 10-year-old griffin. He'll say this to you. A 10-year-old griffin is considered an adult. So they're quite large. Wingspans are humongous. I couldn't give you the full measurements of it, but standing on all fours, she's almost double my height. And I know I'm quite short, but almost double my height. Taller, probably almost just a little bit taller than you, pointing to Lucian, at full height. When you go outside and he begins to walk you around towards to show you where the mountain pass is, you can get a closer look at the drag marks. And the drag marks come from where the horses were. And you can see that there is a decaying half of a horse in that particular pen. And the drag marks are inconsistent. They're not just straight drag marks, it's as if something has dragged, stopped, lifted up, walked a bit, dropped it, dragged, all the way towards this, getting closer towards this mountain pass before the drag marks just stop and it disappears.
Oh, the mountain pass. Right? Yes?
Yeah, it's about
the mountain pass that the
Yeah. So the drag marks stop about 100 feet before the entrance to the mountain pass.
Look at Lucian to be like, yeah, no, I'm doing the gate. Yeah, no, look at me being sneaky. Yeah, no, I'm... Do you love me now, Dad?
That's exactly where my brain's been going for the last few days.
I was also thinking, it was like, no, we won't kill anything that's innocent. I was like, yeah, we won't kill anything that's guilty either, so... ooh, we've got morals.
Right, yeah, so if you head up that mountain part, it's not normally tread by people other than myself, so you want to go up there. When you get to the first fork, you want to take the left, and that'll take you straight to the nest. She's up on one of the lower ridges. It's got quite a big nest. It's in like a enclosed alcove sort of thing, so there'll be lots of high rocks around you, and the nest will be sort of in the center. There is a path that leads further up the mountain, but I don't know where that leads. It's normally, from what I understand, it's a dead end. When I've gone up there before, there was a rock slide some time ago. I don't know.
Is he telling the truth?
Inside?
You can run an insight check.
Ooh, that's only a 9.
No, 8. I'm currently rolling my wisdom checks with disadvantage.
15.
6.
15. There is some deviousness in those words. He is lying.
Deception.
So that's where we're not going.
Really?
Yeah,
Say
no,
it again. Slower.
there was a rock slide some time ago up there. I've not been up there fully, but I got stopped by the rock slide, so didn't go any further. I had no need to be fair.
Say that again.
There was a rock slide up there some time ago. I've never needed to actually go up there, so I haven't. I don't know if it's cleared.
How far did you go?
What, past where the nest is? I don't know, good 200 paces?
We're here to help you. Please stop lying to me.
Miss Castillo, what an accusation! You truly think this poor chap is lying to us?
Oh,
Us who are here to help him?
I don't know. There's something going on here.
Anyway,
if it's got to do with something that we don't want to have anything to do with, then maybe we'll just leave that question there.
Maybe we are part of it. But I suppose we're being paid to do a particular job. And to make sure that there's good victuals for the town. We know how to play this game.
Are we going to encounter anything that might cause us any particular harm? That's all you have to say, yes or no.
I don't believe that Farah would hurt anybody intentionally, but I don't know what condition, I don't know what state she's in, so... But if you're asking me if there's anything else up there, no.
Is there anything that we should particularly avoid seeing in order for our and everyone's long-term benefits?
He looks at you, gives you a hard stare, and is going to roll something. If you could not go further up, that would be helpful.
There we go. Back to being friends.
The two orcs are very different moods here. We're like,
Please.
well,
There's a lot
since
of
you
things
asked
that we have to
nicely.
do to survive around these parts, and some of us have had to do things we don't like, and that's all I'll say on that.
One day, my friend, and Elodie is going to pop her hand on Wilfred's shoulder. Don't you worry, we will look into the mystery of dear Farah, but one day there will come a time when the wonderful townsfolk here will be able to walk around freely without fear. Don't you worry, that day will come. I believe it in my heart.
Looks around. Wouldn't that be...
Lucian just like outwardly groan.
And it's going to be next week at the way things are going.
That would be...
Just like that.
That will be a day. I don't think it'll be in my lifetime, but that'll be the day.
Chin up, old pal.
Thank you. I'm going to go back inside now. Looks around.
You enjoy your basement.
Yes, and he sort of toddles off back into the farm house, and you can go up the mountain pass if you'd like to.
Elodie is leading the child like a brisk walk. Enthusiastic brisk walk.
So there is...
I'm gonna just want to look at Lucian so we can work out who wants to be at the back.
I think Bram's now gone into step with Elodie, but just like, oh.
Oh, you just remember, you don't have to outrun the thing, you just have to outrun those two.
He's not wrong.
Sonny would be sad if I let Edie die.
And no one in the world gives a fuck about Bram. No one cares. It's fact.
He cares.
No! Look, if you stop self-disparaging yourself, then maybe people will care about you.
Or I could keep living in the woods. There's no judgment from the woods.
Right.
Yeah, if I didn't care about you, I'd have let those Reavers kill you the first night that I met you.
Yeah, it would have saved a lot of
Just
time and effort.
out of spite, you're being picked up and cared for. Out of spite.
Right. So
the drug marks consistently up the chasm.
make a investigation or perception check, please. Again, 2 different results, depending on what you roll.
Ooh! I have been rolling on Criable.
Wow.
22.
On perception.
We're only level 3. This is very unlike me. I'm famously horrific in roll together dice rolls.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
You're passing on to someone.
Is it like obvious drag marks going up this mountain as we're walking up this path? Are there like obvious like here's another blood stain?
If you'd like to use your passive, you can.
We're like Geralt of Rivia. We're like just mashing that button to like.
Why isn't my blood sensors working? Because it's right in front of you.
Passive investigation is 16.
Okay, you can use that. That's fine.
This way.
Bram, did you roll?
Ambushed. I want to make sure that we're not getting ambushed by anything.
Oh, smart.
Perception is 19.
Perception 19. And Hiira, what you're rolling perception on ambush.
For not being ambushed by things. So I'm going to call that a perception.
Yep.
So that's 22.
Okie dokie. So I will start with our passive investigation check. There are blood marks leading up the pass. The difference here is that the blood marks are not on the path itself. They seem to be splattered on the rocks over the pass, as if something has gone over it with blood.
Drip pattern, rather than
like a drip pattern, yeah. With the 2 perception checks, there are drag marks and there are also footprints. They're footprints probably the same sort of size as your feet, and the drag marks are a lot smaller. And instead of it being like you know how this is going to be a very weird comparison, but if you were to drag something like a body, it would be like a smoothish sort of drag. Whereas if you were to drag something like, say, a box with corners, you would get that sort of more indented sort of thing. It's like that has been dragged up. And as you get to where the turning point is to go towards where Farah's nest is, those footprints and drag marks carry on up. But those drag marks don't carry on towards the nest. With a 22 perception on checking for ambush, as soon as you entered into the mountain pass, you could feel that something was watching you. Not sure what, can't see anything, but something is watching.
I will relay this to the others, just if anyone needs to start prepping or anything subtle.
So, plan is go check the nest, which we're assuming is going to be empty because we believe that the Reavers have kidnapped Farah and taken her up the mountain further, right?
Or alternatively, cubs, and she's gone to follow them.
That makes a lot of sense.
Nesting, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's out there, but I don't actually think this has got anything to do with the Reavers at all. I think they're using the Griffin as a good blocker because nobody else is going to go up there. It's the Griffin will stop most things from being stupid enough to try past it. And I think whatever else is actually not connected to either of the things. Don't think it's Para, and I don't think it's the Reavers. But that's just my humble opinion.
I'm in line with you, but it's best to be prepared for various eventualities.
I just want to say I would really prefer not to go past the Griffin's nest.
We don't have to go past... Well, we ought to check in on the Griffin's nest, but if she is not there, then where else are we to suppose that she is?
Well, I mean, keep an eye on the sky, but follow the drag tracks that are going, did you say away from the nest?
Away from the nest, further up the pass.
Yeah. Oh, so it's going like past the nest and further.
Yeah, past the nest and up, like.
Well, Wilfred said, "Please don't go."
Yeah, please don't go that way. Yeah, basically going up that way around a corner, sort of thing. Carries on.
Was those drag marks also blood and stuff? No. Right.
Please don't go more than 200 feet, so we can go like that much, and then come back.
Right.
I mean, I appreciate you don't want to incite anything particular there, Lucian, but I tell you what, this is a moot point until we check the nest and see what's happening there.
No, but I actually believe that maybe we're not following the correct tracks in the first place. I think whatever they've got up there, we're following the tracks of the equipment and other random stuff they're dragging up there, and it's actually got nothing to do with the attacks on the farm.
Awesome.
And to be honest, if we got encountered with the Reavers, the only solution would be for us to kill all of them so they couldn't speak to anybody else about us seeing them. So it's not necessarily that I prefer not to meet them, I just would prefer not to have to kill them all. It's super inconvenient.
Take the enemy out while they're weaker, though.
No, but true. But it's more, if they saw our faces, I don't want them coming back to Solomon's place. I don't want them coming back and meeting Sonny. I don't want them to find things that they can use against us. So I would kill them.
Let's check the nest and see where we stand.
That's fair. We're allowed to go there.
So you leave the path, heading left towards where you were told Farah's nest was. It's a quick walk. You have to. It begins to get a little bit tighter, and it's almost like the loading screens in video games where they hide the load screen in the you sneaking in between two like bits of rock. So it's like that. You have to squeeze through a few of those, and eventually you pop out into an almost natural formation of rocks in a circle. In the center of it, on almost like a Pride Rock type rock, is a large nest. Inside that nest, you can see the other half of at least one horse, some large bones, and some broken eggshells.
I love being right.
We'll just sort of glance across and raise an eyebrow at Lucian.
Can everybody make a perception check for me, please?
Oh,
21.
Same.
Oh, that's an 8. I'm back to rolling shit.
You jinxed it, see?
Spoke it into the world, yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I love having to do this at disadvantage now. That was a 4. Elodie has like walked up to the nest and is like tapping the side of it, like, good solid construction, cozy. Yes, reminds me of my mother's.
Brahm and Hiira with your 21s.
Me and Hiira just look at each other.
We hear
like,
every word she says.
Yep. The first thing you see is there is blood leading from the nest around the back of it. The nest itself is so large you can't see the other side. The other thing is you can hear whimpering on the other side of the nest.
Yeah, no.
Also, parts of the nest itself look like they've been crushed. As in the
solid
wall.
Construction.
Yeah, the wall itself looks like something large has stood on it at some point and has crushed it.
So looking at Hiira, like, do we?
We're good, yes, we're going to save the babies.
Ram brightens up for like the first time in about an hour. It's like, yeah, heroics.
Heroics, let's go see what we can do.
As you walk round the other side, are you all going?
I think,
around that side, yes,
I
sure.
think gesture to the other two, and then sort of like, again, small gesture, small baby. Yeah.
As you walk around the other side, the blood itself begins to get larger in volume. And it's fresher than what the horse's blood was. You can tell now that the horse's blood is what you were following up the mountain pass. As you round the corner and get to the area of the nest that you couldn't see from the other side, what you see almost up against the back wall, laying with its back to you, is this large griffin. Loads of cuts and scrapes and active blood pouring out from underneath its body. And you can see its head is slowly raising up, as you can see a small beak seems to be pushing at the head, lifting it up one side, and the other side where the tail is, there is a baby griffin that is sort of like playing with the tail, and grabbing it with its beak and trying to pull it. With the perception checks that you rolled before, you can see that the chest of this griffin is rising up and down faintly.
Anyone else have any healing spells?
I think Elodie is going to rush over upon seeing this. Oh, my dear chap. And is going to just, I think it's without thinking. Just run over and sort of gently place hands. There, we're here now. We're here to rescue you. And mechanically, I'm going to do... Scroll. Mechanically, I'm going to do healing hands. But it sort of happens without Elodie realizing. And it's going to get... Oh, come here, D4.
Stupid D4.
I mean, it's crap. It's 3. But a little sort of radiant glow just kind of comes out of Elodie's hands, and she looks a little bit shocked as well.
As that healing energy sort of comes over the griffin, you watch as where one of the younglings is trying to push at the head. You watch as it goes to push and moves, but the head stays in place, and you can see it turns its head towards you, one eye completely like puffed up as if it's been repeatedly smashed in the head with something. Looks towards you. You can see the swelling begins to calm down. Is there anything else anybody else would like to do?
I've got a pool of 15 I can add. Feeling of hands.
The magical energy that comes from Hiira intertwines with the magical energy from Elodie and amplifies the healing that Farah receives. The swelling goes down even more, and the eye looks towards you. You can see tears forming in the eyes and beginning to pour down it, and its jaw looks to be dislocated, or the jaw of its beak looks to be dislocated in one spot, and it cracks back into place, and it just lets out a very weak noise. They sound different to that.
Sorry.
Sorry?
My dear, I'm so sorry. How many? We see there's one little griffin here.
There's
Sorry.
Yeah, there's 2 in total. One at the head that is now nudging into the head now that she's moving around a bit, and the other one's pulling on the tail. Now that the tail started moving around, it's moved round to the front to where the stomach area is, and it's trying to nestle itself in.
How many eggshells are there?
2.
Okay, fine.
Sorry, 3.
Right. That's what I was asking. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Quest. Otherwise, we could just go home.
Brahm, what would you like to do?
Does this griffin look like it needs more healing?
It is severely injured. If you were to put it in game terms, it was on 1 hit point, or it was on death saves.
Okay, I'm sure Hawthorne will have words with me later. Again, just something from Brahm, and also healing magic just comes. So I'm going to roll 2d6. His eyes, they both go the lighter grey. So that's 6 hit points. And then as the magic goes out, they flick back to the duality.
As you cast your spell and your eyes go the grey colour, you watch as appearing next to you is this black and white fox. Looks down, looks up. Really? This one? You sure?
It's the right thing to do. And again, you know what it's like when a child loses its parents.
It's true. All right, hang on a minute. Shakes its feathers. Shakes its fur, and its
give
fur.
Hawthorne wings.
Its fur turns golden. Yeah. Right. Steps forward, places its paws on the griffin, and then seems to meld into it. And this healing energy, it sort of disappears into healing energy. Both Lucian and Elodie don't see that. Hiira, you see this, but it looks like a spirit to you. And you heal it for an additional 6.
Thanks, Fawn.
And you were shocked when she started talking to herself?
Look at you. Well, you were with me last night. There's a lot going. I contain multitudes.
It's actually quite simple. It's none of my business, to be fair. I'm just being nosy.
There was something there, you couldn't see it?
No.
You can. Right.
Yeah.
You're the second person I've met here who can see.
Do what?
You can't. Okay, so mentally, like, no, mate, yes, okay, and Perry, right, okay.
You can. What was it?
No. Deception roll.
I feel it's too late for that.
It's business to share.
14. In all honesty, don't really know. Need to have a word with the mean teenager back in town. A lot going on. Magic.
Can you see anything else that's not supposed to be visible?
How would I know?
Very good point.
Sort of just eyebrowing at Hiira as well.
Honestly, depends on the day.
I'd like to be clear about one thing, just for the player's sake. Brahm, whenever Hawthorne appears for you, it looks like it's a real fox. Solid, can touch it, everything. But for Hiira, it looks like a spirit.
Yeah.
It's my invisible fox friend. I mean, everyone's got.
Lucian,
I don't know that he doesn't see what I see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Lucian, what are you doing?
Nothing I can do, so I'm staying sort of at the back. Yeah.
What's your passive perception?
My passive is 14.
As the healing is happening and as the last hit points come in from Brahm, the griffin begins to try and pull itself up onto its, at least onto its front legs. And it looks towards all of you, looks up, and then lets out a bellowing screech as its wings flap out. One of them is clearly broken and dangling, but they trying to protect as rocks begin to fall from one of the sides and smash into the floor near the nest as this large sting just slams down into the center of the nest, completely destroying it, causing branches to go everywhere. Everybody roll me initiative, please.
Oh.
Finding out the thing. No.
I don't know if being pre-warned that there was something out there watching us would help you in any way.
I would give everybody a +1 to their roll.
I'm still not convinced it's the Reavers.
Oh, wasn't it really sad when all those Reavers got eaten by griffins? Yeah.
It's going to be a Reaver going, yes, I totally saw this actions going, I'm still not convinced.
Yeah.
I don't like you, but...
15.
I will be graceful in defeat and just not accept it.
What did Elodie roll?
15 total.
15. Lucian?
14.
14. Hiira?
19.
19. And Brahm?
15, but with a minus. So yeah, it was a 16 minus 1, so 15.
15. Okey-dokey. You have a minus to Dex.
You made me take a minus.
Oh.
Brahm got battered. Bram's got. Yeah.
That's fair. As the dust settles and you're able to see through the fog, you see standing in what is the remains of this nest, this large, almost chicken-like creature. Not quite a chicken, but almost a chicken. Beautiful red and blue feathers, feet that are probably the size of yourselves, this long, elongated neck, and this devilishly sharp beak with 2 horns protruding, out of the top. If you were to take a cockatrice and a periton and fuse them together, you would get a peritrice. This is what this creature is.
Periton.
Periton is like a eagle deer creature. And
Sure.
Why not?
they're both D&D creatures. I merged them together because I'm stupid.
To create. Oh no.
Fun.
To create.
It's a quangle. It's fine.
Horror.
Yeah, we can build this.
We must fear the bicycle. So I've just got Peloton in my head now.
And it just roars. This god awful screech just echoes from it. Blood and saliva fly out of its mouth. As it is Hiira's turn first.
Cool. I guess you're right. I say to Lucian, and then I go and I try and do a spell, realise I can't do them. Still haven't got the hang of it. So I'm going to get my sword and I am going to just hit it.
Can you hit it?
And then if it hits, I'll try and see if I can bust a divine smite.
Yeah,
Smite on it.
it's about 15 feet away from you, so you can easily run up to it, up part of, because the stone slab, the sort of pride rock thing, is multi-layered, so you can use that as stepping stones to get up to smack it one.
Fantastic. Does a 19 hit?
19 does hit.
Fantastic. That is a... What am I using to hit with that? So give me a second. 10 slashing damage, and I'm going to throw a searing smite into that as well.
Okey-dokey.
So it's 4 points of fire damage.
Okay, so as you slash into this creature, your blade hits it just around the top of its leg area. The slash itself doesn't seem to do as much damage as what you would hoped it done, but the flame that sparks off encompasses around the wound and causes it to let out a screeching noise.
Fantastic. At the start of each of its turns, it will have to make a Constitution saving throw to see if it carries on making more damage.
Oh, awesome.
And I just go, huh?
I said awesome.
Yeah. Slashing negotiable, fire good.
Does it take a d6 of damage before it makes the save?
Yeah, so it takes it on the hit, and then because it turns into a concentration spell, so it's just going to keep going.
Awesome. Okay, cool. All right. So at the end, is that the end of your turn?
That is action, bonus action, and talking. So yes, the movement. Okay.
At the end of your turn, we will go to Elodie as you have the higher dex.
Right. So as the thing does a big screech, I'm also 15 feet away from it.
You are indeed.
Does that 15? You described it as very big. Is 15 feet still within its range of attack of opportunity?
You'll have to find out.
Does it look reachy?
It's got a very long neck.
Oh, I don't like that. Well, I'm just gonna backflip away a little bit.
Yeah, I will say for your benefit that it is up on high rise, so you've got that going for you as well.
Okay, cool. Is there a way to sort of get up on its level so I can aim at it, but kind of be away?
If you wanted to do that, I would say you'd have to run around 20 feet around to get to side of the rock where it's out of its range, climb up that, but that would use all your movement to do that. But you would be you'd be 10 feet away from, 10 feet away from it on the rock with it.
Okay.
Behind it.
Sure. I'll do that.
Yeah.
So she, as it screeches, I think, why not? I'll do a backflip.
Just stand there, backflip, then run.
Yeah. just gonna get some flippy stuff in there, and then we'll sort of leap and very deftly swing up the rocks, and then as she's doing it, we'll shout, "Come, Exogryph! Allow the rage of Ember to infuse you!" And there's a little needle on the top of the pistol that she pricks her finger on and draws a glyph in the air. Okay, no, that does hurt. That hurts. Yeah, not done that before. Yeah, hurts as described. Okay. And then we'll turn around and aim, kind of flip the gun and just aim and shoot for Hoppa. Does that's not great. A 15 hit.
15 does hit.
Amazing. Okay, so that's gonna be that plus that. So that's 3. That's 8 piercing damage plus an extra 4 fire damage.
Cool. Is the piercing damage magical because of your frick? Yeah. Okay, so you what?
Because of my magical brick.
I'm sorry for phrasing it that way. How much fire damage, sorry?
4.
4. Okay, so as you let off this shot, it flies and hits into the same area where Hiira had attacked, almost blowing open part of that wound, doing full damage to it. It doesn't seem to have resisted it in any sort of way. It buckles slightly, and its really long neck turns towards where you to look directly at you before its wings flap out. Is that the end of your turn?
Hello, chum. Yes, it is.
At the end of your turn, it is its turn because it has a higher dex value than what Brahm does, and it looks around, sees Hiira directly in front of it, sees you round the side, and it just begins flapping its wings and goes to take off. But before that, as it begins lifting off of the air, it is going to make 2 attacks at Hiira as you are in close range with it. The first is with its talons, which is going, a 21 to hit.
Can it make a Constitution saving throw before it does the attacks, please?
Forgot about that, thank you. That's a 22. The hell am I?
Okay.
It's got a +3 to con. Jesus Christ.
Extreme. We learned a new thing. The spell saves, so it's gone.
Okay. So that's 21 to hit and 10 points of slashing damage. And then,
is that me?
On you, sorry, yeah. And then the beak comes around and bites into you as well. With a 13.
Oh.
Good, okay. So,
but also I would like to use part of my innate ability to do Hellish Rebuke back at it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Oh, that's a dex
Yes,
save, isn't it, on my part?
Yes, dex save.
That's a 14.
14. That is my spell save DC, unfortunately.
Means it beats it, but you do half damage.
Do half damage. I rolled that's good actually. What's half of 13? 6 points of fire damage.
Awesome. This creature looks like it's quite hurt at the moment. As it goes to snap round at you and take a bite at you, the flames, how does it look when it comes off of you?
I think it's just a natural thing of just kind of anything kind of striking in at me, just kind of that reaction, like a physical reaction back. The flames itself don't look like they're fully flames. There's a weird kind of on the edges, like a light glow of like radiant light and like weird dark purple energy kind of fighting for control at the very wisps of the fire itself.
As that whips out towards it, it distracts it from taking its full bite at you, but with that it begins to take off and flies up into the air. Unfortunately, if you were to try and do an attack of opportunity against it, you can't. It has an ability called Flyby, It doesn't provoke opportunity attacks when it flies out of an enemy's reach. So it's currently flying 30 feet in the air. And it's just looking around all of you and spots the griffin as the griffin gets up off of the floor and turns to face it. Its wings come in a little bit, and the two baby griffins run behind it. And you watch as this really long tongue comes out of this Paratrice's mouth and just licks the blood off of its beak and then slides back in, almost like a snake. That's the end of its turn.
So the griffin will just be like, "My dear, do not overexert yourself. You have younglings to care for. We shall deal with this."
It looks towards you, and you can see a look of recognition in its eyes, a look of understanding, and it almost nods at you, frowns, and looks back up at the bird. Brahm, it's your go.
Just like, oh.
We will deal with this.
So looking up as like this, looking down at the fox, and I'm like, well, that's not exactly how I wanted to do this, but Orphan, do you think you could blast that thing?
I can certainly try.
All right, let's see what can happen. Point. I cast Sacred Flame on it.
You just hear almost like a fox howl.
Yeah.
As its Hawthorne's form shifts, and Hiira will see this as well if you look, shifts and almost turns into a shadow and goes onto, that sort of attaches itself like Venom does, like a symbiote does, onto your body, rides up onto your hand, and then just throws up at this creature like a flame, almost like a flamethrower type thing. To Hiira, it looks like completely spectral energy. But this is actually now, this element is visible to Lucian and Elodie as well if you were to look. However, you can't see Hawthorne. What you see is Bram's skin takes on a dead colour as Hawthorne goes across. You can see that as if you were looking at a cadaver, the dead colour goes up and then leaves him as Hawthorne flies up and for the Sacred Flame, and everything returns to normal on Bram's body.
I mean, it's not the best, but it's my distance spell. It's going to have to make a dexterity saving throw.
10.
It fails. It takes 5 radiant. As a ghost fox, just.
I just put it on 5 hit points. That's not what I want to do.
No, that's fine. That's no.
It's totally fine.
Lucian, let's go kill it.
Hit it with your stick.
And as the flame encompasses over it, it shakes off the effect as it's flying in the sky. And is that the end of your turn?
Let me have a. Again, considering I'm mostly armed with a big. Yes, that's. As tempted as I am to action surge at this point, where you're like, yeah, you can't cast another. Actually, it's a cantrip, but no, I think save it for an emergency.
Okay, so at the end of your turn, that makes it Lucian's turn.
So, sorry if I'm asking you to repeat stuff again. How high up is it? And I know you said there's cliff sides on either side. Do they run parallel with it?
So it's 30 feet up in the air. The cliff sides itself, they, like you just did, they almost sort of curve in on themselves a little bit, and they're probably a further 15 feet higher than what it is.
Perfect. I'll sort of look surprisingly unbothered and begin wrapping my hands in like hand wraps that you put on before boxing, or putting on before you put boxing gloves on and stuff like that. And Rajay.
I would like to Rajay!
which again is incredibly like calm, just wrapping. My rage is putting the hand wraps on. And then I'd like to attempt to climb the 15 and then launch myself the other 15, which I can maybe just do with a 18 strength.
Make me an athletics check.
Thank you.
Please.
Have advantage because I raged. That's not good. That's a 3 and a 6, so 12.
So, because that's a really cool thing that you want to do. What I will say is because the entire rock face itself is technically 45 feet high. The Peritrice is 30 feet up, and then there's another 15 of rock above that. You begin making your way up, and as you begin climbing up, your footing begins to slip, and you're not able to hold your position. And as you go to fall, you feel something underneath you as Farah has flapped her wings, flown up. Even though one of her wings is broken, she's flown up, caught you, and is flying you towards you're surfing on the back of the griffin, basically. So you can make your attacks if you'd like to.
Nice.
Just a little griffin boost.
Yeah.
And instead of directly striking, I'd like to use my attack action to grapple and crush its wings so it goes and falls straight onto the ground towards Hiira's waiting sword, is my plan.
Nice. Okay.
Because I feel like both me and Hiira might not be equipped hugely for range.
Throw your ghost fox at them.
Make me an attack roll, please.
Yeah. Oh, it's a grapple. Do you want me to do attack roll still as well, or
what would you prefer? Because I know grappling is a bit of a contentious thing in D&D.
An attack roll's better for me.
Yeah, do an attack roll. If you beat the AC, you grapple.
It'll be reckless.
That's how I like doing it.
Yeah, it'll be reckless if that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Helps, so. I feel like you can't do that other than recklessly. So
yeah,
that's a 24 to hit.
24. So as you jump off of Farah's back, you fly over it as if she gave you a bit of a boost. You fly over the Peritrice, but one of your hands grabs onto the top, what would be like the collar bit, because it doesn't have any arms. It's just got its wings and its legs. You grab onto that, swing around, and your hand, because you're quite large yourself, your other arm swings around its neck, and you're able to lock in, pulling the other wing up, and its wings begin to fold in on itself. It's got a little bit of hover in it still. So you're going to have to hold, because of how large it is, just because of how large it is, it's going to take more than a turn to knock it to the floor. So you're going to need to hold your grapple for a little bit longer before it falls. But you can see it's beginning to descend, and it will descend 10 feet before the end of your turn.
Perfect. And it now has disadvantage to attack anything other than me.
Cool. And you can see it's thrashing around trying to bite at you, but even though it's got this really long head, it can't quite turn it to get down to bite you. It's got no other way to attack you, so you've got the only thing it's going to be able to do on its turn, like to get you off, is going to be to try and shrink you off. So we move to the top of the round, and that takes us back to Hiira.
So it's not at me yet.
No, it's 20 feet above you at the minute.
I do shout that I'm bringing it to you. Like, Hiira, I'm bringing it back to you. Like fucking fighting it in the air.
I don't know whether it's worth just trying to get up and see if I can.
You do watch as a griffin lands next to you. I say that Farah flew, but it was more she jumped off of the rocks, used a quick glide span to get you there, and then landed, and is right next to you here at the moment, looking up at the creature. You can see the two baby younglings have hid themselves under the second half of their birthing shells. You just see the little shells, and there's two little eyes sticking out.
I don't want to waste him bringing it down to me, but I also want to hit it very hard.
I mean, if you could get rid of it now. Then...
You hold.
You can hold an action,
hold
yeah.
an action.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold.
I might be able to get it down to you on my turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my action because the bonus action I want to do can activate on that action anyway. So
Yeah, that's cool. Yes, you can hold your action for when it gets within range to attack it.
yeah,
Cool. Right.
I'm just gonna pet Thera and just go like, just chill and protect the kids. You're injured.
You hear a almost like a purr as it puts its face into your hand. You can see that Thera is still heavily injured, but is got plenty of fight in her eyes. As we move to Elodie's turn.
Cool. From up on my vantage, she's gonna, I think, take a brief second to be like, oh, what was it again? And grab a quick notebook from her hip and just go, tick. Ah, yes, okay. Be still, foul creature. There's another like drawing of a blood sigil in the air. Could it please make me a strength saving throw?
Indeed.
Would this be at disadvantage, maybe? Because Lucian's grappling?
I would say so, yes. So I shall roll again. That was better. 15 in total.
Oh, no, it succeeds. Boo!
Very rude.
Never mind. Its speed is not reduced to 0. Sorry, Hiira. I try.
That's fine.
Curses. All right. Well, yeah, curses indeed. Next time, I'm just going to shoot it again.
Go ahead.
All right. That is a 24.
24 hits.
And that's gonna be 12 magical piercing, plus 2 fire.
It is looking bloodied.
Mm-hmm.
It is not looking good as you blast it in the other leg or blast it in one of the wings, causing it to drop a little bit more. Flame and blood begin pouring out of it. Somehow, for some reason, the flame itself seems to be igniting the blood, causing it a bit of an additional pain.
You shall rue the day you messed with the friends of Fair Farah.
Belt rearing.
Is there anything else on your turn? Nope. Okie dokie. Right. So, it is the Paratrice's turn. It is going to attempt to make an athletics check to break out. Lucian, you will get to roll an opposed check with advantage.
Natural 20 for a 26.
I rolled a natural 1 for a 5. So I will say, with the natural 1 against your natural 20, as it tries to fight it, you just go, nope, squeeze. Its wings fully, you hit some sort of a nerve or something, and its wings fully retract in, and both of you just fall to the floor. It's now on its side, prone.
Hiira, I've got a present for you.
And Hiira gets to attack.
To hit this bitch. Oh, that is. Let's see if it actually hits. It should. Oh, 18.
18 will hit.
Oh, thank God for that. Okay, so that is not the world's greatest for the slashing. That's a 6.
6
for the weapon, but I'm also going to throw in Divine Smite, which is 2d8.
Did you roll your attack with advantage?
I did not.
Because it's prone. But just see if you get a natural 20.
I did not. I rolled a 12 again. That is actually middling. That is 9 points of radiant damage.
Math in my head. There we go. It is not looking good. The slash attack, again, doesn't feel like it did as much as what it should have, but the radiant fire that erupts around it seems to be harming it quite badly, as like flame
He's just
would.
being extremely methodical, like no pretense, just really good at hitting things.
It is still its turn at the minute. Actually, no, it used its action to try and escape and failed. So it's now Bram's turn.
Brahm will travel up to where the rest of the party are, because everyone else was moving, and like, again, you know, he's not idling, but he's, you know, so like, gets the mace out and just starts balancing it, and like, right, half on, are you, I mean, they sort of know what we can do, but let's see what they think about this one. I make the mace attack, and does a 24 hit?
24 will hit, yes.
Right. We start with 6 points of bludgeoning damage from the mace.
Is it magical?
Well, interesting, because I'm casting a cantrip while I'm doing this. So, but the mace itself was a +1 mace, so it isn't technically magical.
In this world, technically isn't magical. It's just how well it's crafted.
No.
Yep.
But
so,
magic is going through it. But
yeah,
no,
what's the
so
spell that you're
bludgeoning-
casting?
Booming Blade. As we just hear like a fox, yeah, and it's just this energy, just
Yes. As it touches it, it just sort of envelops around it, causing like this vibration to encoat it like a blanket sort of thing.
I think Hiira can also see like the Spear of Hawthorne going, you know, just there's just a fox wiggling.
Why is your spirit ghost wiggling?
Oh, she's got the wiggles. Note that you said ghost, and I was like, yes. So booming blade. So if it moves, it's going to take some damage.
Awesome. Okay. Anything else on your turn?
You know what? Action surge. Let's hit it again.
Go ahead. Roll with advantage. +1 because it's grappled.
17.
17 will hit.
Again, this isn't a magic, and again, because it's not a magic weapon, but hey, damage is damage.
Yes.
So 10 points. So is that halved?
It is on its last legs as you smash into it. You smash into one of its feet and cause a small indent as this sheet covers over it, and you're like, well, that's not right. Smash on it again, and you cause one of the talons to fully break and snap off. It's going to have a problem standing on that for a little while, I think.
Oh, very bold of you to assume it's going to stand again.
Might do, you never know.
I'm just for the sake of it, I'm standing 5 feet nearer to Elodie. Just again, it's something I can do for a reaction, and I'm just like, hey, you were nice to me, so standing nearby.
Good shot, sir.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Does that tilt?
Literally, like Elodie acts as if she has a big cap and does a doffs a bow.
Doff thy cap.
He liked previous Elodie, also likes this version. He's very likable and just like, oh yeah, I like these vibes.
Lucian, it's your go.
Sort of, because I've got it almost nearly into a headlock, I'd like to sort of wrap my legs around it, like into a jiu-jitsu hold, pull both my arms up onto sort of where its throat would be, and just pull back, almost to try sort of lock in its neck, and if I can, almost like crack/break the neck.
Make me an
Using
attack
my
roll with
hips to
advantage.
sort of push down at the same time.
Yeah, I think attack roll with advantage. +1 because it's prone.
That's a 22.
That hits.
And then
Because you fight unarmored normally, so roll your normal unarmed damage.
yeah, that's a 8 non-magical bludgeoning.
Awesome. How do you want to do this?
Oh, yeah. Just like I say, wrap my legs around its body, arms around its neck, and then just do... all you have to do at that point when you've got them in that lock is you just lift your hips, and your body does the rest of the work as it just pulls its spine from its body, and you just hear a god awful like crunch.
And you can see that this creature is wiggling around, and as you firmly plant your feet in between where its wings are on its neck and push down, raise your hips up to cause it to arc a little bit and pull up to its throat, you can hear it's gargled, its tongue is sticking out, and then you just hear, and then it just goes limp. And
then I'll throw the body off myself and sort of stand up and dust myself off and start unwrapping my hands.
As it dies, the Pharaoh looks over at all of you, quickly darts down towards where her babies are hiding under their shells, lifts the shells off, and then starts nestling into them before collapsing on the floor, exhausted.
We'll make my way back down to where the others were. Jolly good show, Tim.
Nicely done.
Pretty clean. Good kill. No. Well, I think that fulfills whatever job we need to do. I mean, we were just here to check on the farmer, but no, that's not, well, hopefully that's not going to be a problem anymore.
We'll approach Farah. My dear, I don't know to what extent you understand me, but you are in need of some rest and recovery. Perhaps it might be prudent to, when possible, move back down to the farm. Just for a little bit. I'm sure Wilfred will be pleased to see you.
Doesn't seem to understand the exact words you say, but as soon as you say Wilfred, looks up at you, straight in the eye, looks towards the two younglings, and then looks over towards the destroyed nest. And you see... Oops, sorry.
Sorry, yes. Carry on. I'm connecting threads.
There's a look of sadness on its face, and it puts its head down as the two younglings climb on its back. You see the younglings' wings haven't really moved. They're too young to begin flying themselves. And Farah will begin making her way.
We will, before she leaves, we will do our best for your third.
Makes a noise. I'm doing it disservice by making the noises that I'm making. But she'll climb up the rocks. Instead of trying to get out through the loading screen area, she's going to go up the rocks and climb out that way because she's too big. And she disappears out of view.
Well, I suppose we ought to tell Farmer Wilfred the good news and the bad news.
What's the bad news?
There is a third child that has been clearly kidnapped.
I am pretty sure he
dead.
knows that.
Kidnapped or taken by that creature.
Or perhaps in the box.
As I said, I don't know if we're allowed to set up jobs for ourselves, but maybe if we go back and report to Solomon. So, I mean, I know we're not going up the mountain, but...
I don't know, I've still got quite a lot of energy in me. No. No one else.
I don't want to get yelled at again. And we don't want to get people hurt.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't feel very heroic.
Oh. I'm going to try and make a wisdom save. Because he said the one thing that would get under his skin.
I appreciate, as a player, Matt is being an arse here because I'm aware of the time, but also this is what Solarimus would do.
Could you roll with disadvantage, please? Because Hawthorne is sort of almost floating next to your shoulder going, yeah, real heroic. Yeah.
14.
Yeah, heroic.
Again, like Bram's getting flash, and then we cut to see a goat woman going, "What do you mean he died again?" Just like, oh.
I want to go save the baby too.
We need to go save the baby.
Save the baby.
Save the baby, save the world.
Someone needs to be the sensible one and say we can't do it right now because this is a one shot and we have to
Can we
stop.
save the baby off screen and just say that we did?
And then we threw them over the cliff. Oh no, it's really sad. They all fell off the cliff.
Oh no.
We did it with our eyes closed, so technically we didn't see anything that we shouldn't. We just went and rescued a baby.
Are you going up the mountain or are you going back home?
Are we allowed?
D&D.
D&D, baby.
Yeah, but if this is a home game, sure, but there's a structure to this.
There is.
It's you're going to directly put yourself in a place that we're not ready to be. So if you want to go forward with it,
My friend, a child is in peril.
I think he's concerned that my child will be in peril if we do it.
Ah,
there is child, the town, the village, the people they'll hurt to figure out who hit a clearly hidden and private place that they've been keeping specifically hidden. If we're clever and we cover up our tracks, fine, but we have not fought together. Do not know how we work. There's more of a chance that we'll get each other killed than we will successfully kill them. All I'm going to say is I'm not really in the business of martyrdom or even this whole hero business. There to make money, not, I don't know, whatever this is. I don't like people doing bad things, and I'll stop bad things from happening, but I don't stop for bad things from happening this way. This is not how you effectively get rid of problems.
If they've captured a Griffin Cub, they're not going to do anything heinous to it. If they needed it for ingredients, they would have taken it from the mother when she was that weak.
Can we also say we're saying this very quietly because we know that someone will be watching.
Oh
and the
yeah,
fact that, so we're whispering. Yeah.
Hiira, the sense of you being watched is gone.
It's still not a terrible, because we are literally, they are up there, and it's not a bad idea to be.
you might have to remind Celerimus of that.
Yeah. And you're like,
This is a dastardly quandary, though.
Shh. What? They are listening to us. They are.
Speaking of money, do we need to take evidence that we killed this thing?
Well, that's the thing. We're not being paid to kill this. We've been paid to check that the farmer's okay. This, I mean, for all your let's get paid, this was a side hustle.
No, that's not what Hiira said. If you can prove that the job was more dangerous, they'll change the star rating.
I pick up the talon that I smashed off. That do?
It will, and also, the more time you spend with them and they trust you, the more they'll take you on your word. So, but evidence helps.
So fine, we head back to base, we regroup, we make a plan.
We'll make a list for the job board for ourselves, and when the time is right, we will go and act upon it.
Does Elodie have any thoughts about if they had stolen the baby griffin for ingredients?
No. Oh, they're making stew.
No, but like for feathers and that kind of thing, is it the kind of thing that they would have kept the baby alive or kidnapped it to kill and take the ingredients? Would I have any clue about that?
You are quite proficient. You are proficient with alchemy tools or brute or herbalist stuff, aren't you?
Alchemist supplies.
Yeah. So without having a roll, basic ingredients, you would know that there are parts of griffins that can be used. Normally, like if it was that you've known there's a couple of alchemical things, even spell components that require like a griffin's heart, griffin's liver, that sort of stuff, but it's normally adults. For a baby, I'm not 100%. There's not normally anything that you would use in a baby because they're still developing. Their nails haven't formed into the talons that they would be that could slice through metal and all that sort of stuff. So unless they would, one idea does pop into your mind that maybe they would be looking to potentially breed the baby and make more griffins and use them for various different things. But then that begs the question, why didn't they take all of the babies?
Yeah. I think whilst kind of pacing up and down, Elodie says, Elodie would like me to tell you that she thinks that it's likely that the baby is still alive. The reasons for taking it either would be that this creature here has taken it to eat it, in which case it's too late anyway, or they're keeping it alive either to take ingredients once it has grown, or to breed, or to train for their own attack creature. So, as much as it pains me physically, emotionally, to leave a damsel in distress right at this moment, I do agree that perhaps some tactics are required.
Music to my ears. Let's get the fuck out of here.
And as you all leave, you begin to smell something strange. And then a purple light erupts behind you. And as you turn, you can see that the Peritriss's body is on fire. Purple flames, which dim out almost instantly, leaving just a skeleton in its place, as if all of the fat and sinew is just instantly been vaporized from it. And you watch as the bones begin to crumble away into dust.
Oh, okay.
Can
I scoop up some of the dust in my empty vial?
Yeah.
As we're sort of walking down, Elodie, does that creature exist in, like, the wild?
Do I know?
Anybody can make a nature check if they want to. I will.
I just know for a fact that's not really my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
15.
15. Anybody else rolling?
It's either mine.
5. Having a little bit of a sulk. That's fine. Just a smidge.
So thinking about it, you know what a periton is. The two names sound weird, but you connect the dots that Josh made earlier, that you know what a periton is and you know what a cockatrice is. Peritrice is not something natural, and you do remember reading research that the Tarragon Imperium were experimenting with some sort of gene, not quite gene slicing, but like cross breeding of animals that wouldn't normally mingle with each other. So that it could be the result of that. You're not 100% sure, but that's the first thing that pops into your mind.
I think just as Lucian asks that question, you know what? It might be easier if you talk directly to her. One moment. Where's that other reagent? Oh, that is foul. Okay. Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Technically never left.
Right.
So I do vaguely remember some research actually about the Tarragon Imperium doing some sort of awful experiments with creatures. Some kind of splicing. Oh goodness, do you think?
I think I know what they're doing with that griffin.
Maybe we have less time than I thought.
Not when it's that small, though. It's not useful.
No,
you're right. When it's grown. But that does suggest perhaps then the Reavers have connections within the Imperium. So perhaps making them an even more dangerous threat than we thought. They're not just local gangsters.
Let's go. Move out now.
And as we end our session with you making your way back to Mercs did in handing in the remains of the claw. But somehow, even though the rest of the body turned to dust, the claw is still intact. It's as if the purple flame is what turns it to dust. There is a name that does register in your mind, Elodie. You remember the paper, that particular paper that you read on the interbreeding of other creatures. And it was written by somebody called Mortigan.
Mortigan.
And that is where we are going to end the session.
All the others are like having lunch and we kick in. You're like, guys, it's worse than we thought.
Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us for tonight's session. I apologise that we have ran over a little bit, but there were a few little details that I wanted to get in there. Carly's going to kill me. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We have been Roll Together RPG. You can, if you like what you see, we play on Mondays, as we are right now, and Tuesdays at 6 p.m. UK time, and we also play at D&D on those days. Thank you to our sponsors and supporters. We are all over social media as Roll Together RPG. If you are watching us on YouTube, please do consider leaving us a like, subscribe, and comment, letting the algorithm let us know what you like so we can make more of it. And a massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. They are amazing. You can join them for as little as one of your local currency per month, or one goat, which must be sent to Tom. They've helped us with the Discord. They've helped us with the wiki. There are different tiers that you can join and get different things. Go have a look. It's awesome. Links in chat or in the description below. Thank you very much, and we will see you next time. Bye.